This episode of Off My Shelf contains coarse language and adult conversation. Listener discretion is advised. Hello, my name is Tracy James, and welcome to Off My Shelf, a podcast about movies that are, well, off my shelf, where we go through my DVDs and talk about the movies in my collection. Usually, because it's the 7th annual Off My Shelf Holiday Extravaganza.
Yay!
Woo! Hooray!
I foregathered 5 fabulous friends to forget festive frivolity. That's right, forget. This year, we're going to have a discussion about films that you often forget happen during the holiday season, with Kiss Kiss Bang Bang and In Bruges. My guests are Alex Cook,
Hello.
Jessica Lutzer,
Hi.
Sean Archer,
Hey.
Leah Irby,
That's me. Hi.
and Mike Suderman.
Hello.
Welcome!
Yay!
Yay!
Woohoo! I think our topic this year is very on point for me personally, because I have done nothing holiday-wise this year except for, as of right now, clipped red antlers to my hair so that I look real excited about this episode. Yay!
They're very fetching
Very
antlers, I will say.
Thank you. Dollar store magic. Just letting you know. I have red. I also bought gold depending on the outfit I'm wearing. So, yes. I thought the red went well with my incredibly neon green shirt today. That's it.
Aggressively Christmas.
Yeah, I'm throwing it in there. I'm throwing it in there. And I'm not saying this like I'm disappointed to have a chance to talk to you guys about this. It's just that I have not particularly gotten into the holiday spirit this year. I'm just like trudging through. It's cold outside, and I'm like, yeah, let's do this stuff. But it's fun. I get to talk to you guys about it. It's great. I'm okay.
On everybody else, I don't have any holiday spirit because I hate them.
Our Scrooge.
Yes. And this is why you probably enjoyed watching the movies this year.
I really did so much.
I was so happy when you suggested In Bruges. I really like it. I had never seen Kiss Kiss Bang Bang before, but after seeing it, I was like, this is a good pairing.
Okay, good. I'm glad it was a good pairing, but I was like, I have not seen either of these movies in, it felt like a very long time. And as I was watching them, I was just like, oh yeah, these are kind of depressing. Okay, sure, but they're good. They're good. I will give you that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I didn't watch either of them before, so this was my first viewing.
Me too.
And I will say after we watched them both in one night, and I was like, they're kind of similar. Like the main characters, the vibe.
Yeah.
And I was like, they go well together actually, viewing them.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. It was a good double feature.
Yeah. I actually, in my brain, they were completely different vibes, but after I watched both of them, I was like, yeah, they do go together, so it's fine.
They're kind of like, yeah, a little bit of a two sides of the same coin thing, right? Where one is very hyperactive, but like engaging with the same themes as the other one that is very sedate, but like they're both, you know, focused on petty criminals who are in over their head and kind of idiots.
Yes.
That is, I believe, one of
Storylines
Mike's
have both
favorite
kind of
subgenres.
careened in similar fashion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They felt like they were from culturally a very long time ago, as opposed to chronologically, where they are quite old chronologically, but they felt so much older than that culturally, just being like, oh, things were like this in
Yeah, but
2007.
also, I
2005.
think both of them like are taking homage or like are honoring an older type of filmmaking, if you understand what I mean. Because like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is very like 50s noir spy movie slash thriller, and in Bruges is also like, but European, too much talking, dark humor sort of thing. So I feel like they feel old because they're pulling from old things.
Eh.
Some of it's the language as well,
Yeah.
especially in Bruges. There were a few times where he said things, and I was, "Oh, you can't do that anymore."
No.
Hmm.
Oh, that
Though-
is one of my very few notes is that I was just like, I am not even going to take a note of what he says because I cannot repeat that. And I was just like, you can't say that. That is flat out
That was
offensive.
That's
a
kind of
whole
what I
string
meant.
of no words all at once.
Yeah.
But
It was no
So-
then too.
not like it is now.
No.
Like,
Yeah, like
Some of
for me at least in Bruges, they were awful people saying awful things, whereas like the like constant ribbing of what was his name? Gay
Gay
Perry?
Perry.
Harry.
Yeah, Gay Perry. It was like it I mean, F slurs and stuff where you can't say that anymore, but also like just the fact that it was just like he's gay and that's the end of the joke
Mhm.
was like that's very
That's the punchline.
2005.
Yeah.
But like the fact that it like I came around to it eventually because like most of the things in the movie they like it was kind of tiresome and then they kept pushing it and then it came around again and was actually really
It's
funny,
Yeah.
at least for me, but
joke
but
about
the
it too, right? Like,
yeah, but like for me that was a lot more of a like, oh, you can't say that anymore, where they were just like, yeah, this character's entire shtick is we're gonna every time he's on screen somebody's gonna crack about him being gay. It's like, okay. Very very of its time.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I also think the thing that makes it work is that the character himself just sort of like Fat Amy in Pitch Perfect, where they're
Mm.
like he's like, yeah, I'm gay. I know you're gonna make a joke, but guess what? I can still punch you in the face.
Mhm.
And then he punches
Yeah.
somebody. And I was like, cool, this works.
Yeah, he's the baddest mofo in the movie,
Yeah.
Yeah. yeah.
which is turning the gay stereotype on its head,
Right.
which I liked.
It's that sort of first wave of like the underpinnings of like, yes, the fact that he's gay is the punchline, but we wrote a character who's also like, so I'm gay, so the fuck what? And then that's the punchline, which like
Mhm.
it's not all the way there, but you could see the start of it. It's like, let's give that character a voice, but he's still obviously always the punchline, and that has been normalized. But it's a baby step. You can see it being a baby step.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sorry, I didn't mean to say that it was like a criticism of it. It was just like a part of it is the Tracy, what you said was it's paying back to the like every character's got a thing, and his thing was being gay, and so like everybody had the thing, like the jokes or the comments about how promiscuous the woman was and how dumb Robert Downey Jr. was, and
Yeah,
like
exactly.
all of those were there, and I do think that they handled it well. It did feel very 2005. It's not necessarily that like it was awful or we couldn't watch it, but it just it felt like that.
Ooh,
I think
have
it's
a theory-
because
I have a theory.
I think it's
Go ahead.
because it wasn't very subtle, or maybe just how they said it was too blatant. Like I feel like now if you're gonna be racist or sexist or make fun of someone's sexuality, they try to like finesse the words better. So you're just like 5 minutes later, you're just like, oh wait, he just called that guy gay. Whereas in this movie, it's just like, nah, you're gay. You're gay. And you're like, am I
There were
supposed to laugh now?
microaggressions, zero microaggressions, just straight up aggressions.
Just aggression.
But also
Straight
not
out aggressions,
a lot of
yes.
criticism. Everyone's just like, oh yeah, that's look at his turtleneck. That guy's gay. Whatever. No subtlety.
Quick theory. What if LA is the same as whatever weird, it has the same effect as whatever weird gas they pump into the cabin in the woods, where it reduces everybody to their one defining trait, whether or not they are like that when they're outside of LA. I haven't spent a lot of time in LA, but I think I would argue that is the case.
I mean, I guess whatever magical being they were trying to satisfy was satisfied because they all lived at the end and everything was quote unquote okay. So, sure, I can go with it.
except for the sister committing suicide.
Well, yeah, that was just a whole sad thing in general.
Yeah.
They were just like,
Michelle Monaghan didn't seem
oh.
that sad about it. The movie.
Well, I
I
feel
know
like
she was
it's
estranged, but
yeah. Well, and that's the thing is like she got up and left her sister there and then never went back, sort of kept in touch, but not really. And then was shocked when her sister is in town. But I'm like, if you're doing something for your sister that who you love so much and you're gonna try to save them and get them out of there,
mhm,
wouldn't you get better in touch with them? Like I feel like that's the one thing you would have to do.
you would think.
I don't know necessarily because like in both these movies everybody is terrible.
Mm.
Um and so like I think that and like this is not to be like that she is worse or anything, but like while all of the abuse in that the story talks about happened to her sister, like it can't have been a good raising even if she wasn't explicitly abused, right? So
Yeah.
like I can also sympathize with her where she like goes to LA, she doesn't make it big, but she's like, you know, happy to just do the weird like waitressing and stuff like that, just keeping it going and like not wanting to go back to that or revisit that on a like day-to-day basis where she's just trying to keep going day to day. So I was sympathetic to that. Like obviously you want to do the right thing, you want to be that savior, but at the end of the day, like if you don't have the resources to do it and you're like barely holding yourself together on your own, I'm sympathetic to that. Like it would be the right thing to do to keep in touch with her, to support her, to send her money back. But like the selfish, you know, self-preservation instinct of just like I need this money to eat today is strong too.
Yes. No, I agree with that point. Definitely. Definitely.
It might be easier to say, I'm going to get out of here because I am worried about my sister and I'm going to be big and famous, and then not go back because you're not big and famous yet. And did you get out of there to save your sister, or was that a thing that you told yourself to have make it easier to get out of there that you
Yeah.
big and famous and go back and save her, right?
Yeah.
Which, again, I did not move to LA for lots of great reasons, but it's that's a pretty common kind of reasoning. It's like I'm getting out of here for other reasons than just me. Definitely.
Yeah,
It will for sure help.
I feel like a lot of people don't um aren't motivated for doing something for themselves, like just to be like, I'm gonna go over here because it's healthy for me to get out of this bad situation. That's not why they do it. They'll get out of there. Hey, they got to do a good new job, or you're like, oh, I got to get the kids out of here, or like, yeah, I'm gonna be famous. I have to do something to help this other thing, right? And it's not like she's like, I know I'm not leaving for me. I'm leaving for you. And then I'll come
Yeah.
back for you is the thing. Yeah, these are happy Christmas
Exactly.
movies, guys.
With no
These
murder
are
in them at
accurate
all.
Christmas movies. Because Christmas is horrible.
Yeah. So we seem to be deep diving on Kiss Kiss Bang Bang already. So
Yeah.
we can just start in that discussion. I mean we could jump back and forth between the two movies. That's fine. But I feel like we're there. Like we're there. So
So
um
so the
yeah.
other thing that I felt dated it as 2005, and this is in no way a criticism of the movie. In fact, it's like a positive for the movie, is that like it I I I had not seen a lot of like early Robert Downey Jr. stuff, but I know he had like a big slump in his career when he was dealing with all the drugs and alcohol and stuff. And this was like him being that motor mouth charming person that movies have like capitalized on since then. But like, so this would have been way fresher in 2005, like just seeing Robert Downey Jr. being this like incredible, like, motor mouth charismatic person.
Yeah.
Whereas like now we're kind of sick of him. He's been in tons of Marvel movies. He's like this enormous like movie star, but like in 2005, I don't think he was.
No, he was definitely this was one of the first movies that got him back on the people letting him act again train.
Yeah,
You know,
Iron,
like he was getting hired.
Iron Man was 2008, right? So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
one or two projects that they were like, okay, maybe we can take a gamble and insure this guy. Like,
Hmm.
Mhm.
I had a
You're
complete
right.
false
That's
memory
like,
of Tropic Thunder being his first comeback movie, and then was totally blown away that it's like 2007 or something. This is
2008. Tropic Thunder
2008.
and Iron Man came out in the same year.
Oh
he,
wow.
My
So you could
he filmed Iron Man first and then did Tropic Thunder because I remember seeing an interview of him being like, I'm just gonna do this even though I've already filmed Iron Man, and I'm just gonna trust you guys, and this is a bad idea, but we're gonna do it anyway.
Well, I mean,
What?
Stupid
people
movie.
are really into the MCU right now, but when Iron Man came out, it was a giant gamble.
Yeah,
A, nobody really like people had heard of the character of Iron Man, but he was like C-list slash D-list level character. And then you have Robert Downey Jr., the drug addict and drunkard who's out of jail, who's your star. And then John Favreau, who, yes, he was, he was making a thing. I mean, like, I think his last movie that was popular before that one was Elf. So, like, like people are just like, what is this? Marvel was going to be bankrupt in like a month and a half. And then you have all
Man.
of this like random shit that nobody cares about. And the movie came up and just sort of like saved everybody involved, is what
yeah,
happened. Yeah.
yeah. And they put that like post credits thing just as a kind of like wink, and then they're like, "Oh, damn! I guess we can do it now."
Yeah.
What was the post credit? I don't remember.
Just the like
Nick,
Samuel L. Jackson coming in
yeah.
and being like, "You
Ah,
ever heard of something called the Avengers?"
that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
like if that movie had done it like Ang Lee's
Hulk did,
or
yeah.
or yeah like or the previous what was the Edward Norton Hulk movie? Like
Incredible
if it
Hulk.
yeah
Also,
No, the Incredible Hulk came out after Iron Man.
oh really?
Hmm.
The post credit sequence of that is
Ah,
Robert Downey Jr. coming in and talking to Ed Norton about joining the Avengers.
okay.
Ooh. Well,
yeah,
but
that movie's
I
amazing.
also thought like what you said, Mike, about how now we're used to that Robert Downey Jr. Me having watched this movie now, knowing who I kind of rolled my eyes and I was like, is he like this in every film? And then I just
Right.
realized, no, we were overexposed to Iron Man, and this was like kind of different at the time. But like me now, I was just like, oh God, it's just Robert Downey Jr. being Robert Downey Jr. being Iron Man. But no, I
Yeah.
guess it had been fresh at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were talking about other movies he's in where he isn't just playing Tony Stark, he's
Yeah.
playing Robert Downey Jr. or
Right.
whatever. Like,
What, like,
Yeah, like-
Heart and Souls?
stuff like Zodiac and like
Yeah,
Zodiac, yeah.
he has.
it's not like that at all in that. Like it's
But this fast talking, charming, egocentric dude who, like, if you look at other actors like Ryan Reynolds, they unfortunately it just becomes who they are. And I think at this point he wasn't that because he was trying to get over the prostitution slash drug slash drinking.
Thing, yeah.
yeah, he was on his way back and he was but now right now that's his dominant shtick.
That's his shtick.
But
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
think there's a really natural crossover between Shane Black's writing style and Robert Downey Jr.'s acting style that just hit on this exact thing that people find so pleasing, which is part of what I love about Shane Black's writing and part of what I love about Robert Downey Jr. being a smartass. And so I feel like in part it's because he had that material to not just work from, but like really chew on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of Ryan Reynolds, imagine him being cast in this movie. It would be fucking unwatchable.
Agreed.
Ryan Reynolds has become unwatchable. Sorry.
Well, a little bit.
No,
yeah.
but I think
Yeah, he's always
honestly
Deadpool
think
now.
even if Ryan Reynolds was cast in that role and he did his like Deadpool shtick in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, at the time you would have been fine with it. But now, with Robert Downey Jr., you're like, I've seen this 100 times, guys. I've seen it
I don't-
100 times. Can we do something else?
Watching him do that next to Val Kilmer does not seem like it would ever have been a masterful gambit. Like, you need to match that energy, right? You know,
True.
Well,
yeah.
apparently, like Johnny Knoxville was supposed to be Robert Downey Jr. character. Like,
Oh, that'd
if
be
that
terrible
happened,
casting.
oh my God, yes. Agree. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely agree.
But,
I- I haven't seen a lot of Shane Black stuff. I don't know a lot of it, but I watched The Nice Guys, and
Yeah.
that like was just like a weird thing where again they've got like an established kind of aging action hero in Val Kilmer, and then they've got this weird Robert Downey Jr. guy, and then in The Nice Guys they've got the aging Russell Crowe, and then Ryan Gosling, who's I think at the time was still basically kind of a question mark about like what he was capable of doing. And just anyway, it was just like a similar kind of thing where it's just like there's a strange comedy that comes out of that where you it's a buddy cop movie or a buddy. I mean, yeah, I guess it is a buddy cop movie, but like it because he's pretending to be a cop. Robert Downey Jr. is, but like just their very weird energies does not match a normal buddy cop
No.
duo.
I will say I have seen The Nice Guys and I only saw it once. And I remember when I had watched it, I did not like that movie.
Really?
I have not
I-
watched it since, so I can't say anything. Maybe it was I was in a bad mood or whatever. It is totally possible. There are definitely times I've watched a movie, hated it, and then got talked into watching it again. I was just like, wait a second, why did I hate this movie? Like that is definitely a thing that has happened.
you are
It's-
an obvious hater.
I mean, yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm not ever no, but like usually I can give you a reason why I hate a movie. Like I'll be like, look, these are my issues with it, and this is the reason. And then I see The Nice Guys, I'm just like, I remember almost nothing about that movie. It is so to me, it's may have been so bland, it just like emptied out of my brain. I don't get
For
it, but
me-
people love that movie.
It's great.
I don't love it, but like the one scene where uh
Is
what's-
it where
what's his
Ryan
name?
Gosling's like punches the glass? Is it
No,
that scene?
where he's in the toilet stall and the door won't close and he just keeps slamming it. It's just it's physical comedy like you don't often get to see in like a big budget movie anymore. Like it's just he's
Yeah.
just
We're gonna
lashing
talk
out.
about
He's
Ray Fiennes on the phone later.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
The one scene that people always like send me a clip of about it or like talk about is the part where Ryan Gosling he's like wants to break a glass to get into somewhere. He like wraps his hand in something. He breaks the glass, but then like cuts his wrist. And he's like bleeding everywhere and he's trying to figure out what to do. And I'm like, look, that's a good scene. That's fine. But I can't make a comment on a whole film based on a completely out of context scene. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
no,
can't.
I'm totally understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Shane Black also wrote Lethal Weapons, Lethal's
Yes.
Weapon.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Last
Yeah.
Action Hero, and a bunch of other stuff. But I think the particular he's very good at exploring that unusual buddy cop dynamic that when Lethal Weapon came out had not thoroughly been stomped into the ground yet. When
Again-
Last Action Hero came out, Schwarzenegger plus Kid had not been thoroughly stomped into the ground.
Sorry, Lethal Weapon. Guess what? Another movie that people forget takes place at Christmas. The first one.
Oh,
Oh,
Yes.
maybe next year we watch it.
Oh, yeah.
That's not the one with the
There's gonna
bomb
be
in the
another
toilet,
Christmas
is it?
next
Yeah.
year?
No, the
Wait, the
bomb in the
first one?
no, the bomb in
Oh,
the
is that the
toilet
sequel?
is like the second one.
Oh, my bad.
yeah. And I think he may just have like a story or like character credits on the second one. I don't think he wrote the screenplay.
Yeah, just as characters on 2, 3, and 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like so I too like you keep saying Shane Black, I like his writing, and I was just like, I have to look what he wrote, and I have seen most of his movies, and I have enjoyed most of his movies.
It
The
is
only
one
movie
of
I
those
haven't
things where
seen-
Except Predators.
No,
I
first of
think we saw it
all,
in theaters together, and it was.
first of all, it's the Predator, not
Oh,
Predators.
my
Those are
bad.
two different
Oh,
things.
you're right. You're right. Adrian Brody's in Predators.
No, isn't the oh no, yeah, the Predator's the
Yeah.
one where they come back to Earth, right?
No, they're on the Predators bring the humans to a different planet and hunt them.
Is that the Predator?
Why did
No, I think that's Predators, like just with a plural.
you think it Too Fast, Much Furious, or no? Distinctive titles.
No, the Predators is entertaining just because of how ridiculously bad it is.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
That's a totally different thing. Last Action Hero, love it. Iron Man 3, yeah, it's fine.
I mean, 2 got shit and 3 didn't. So like, let's give him the win on that one.
Yes.
I'm pro Iron Man 3. I want more externalizing anxiety by multiplying myself with robots.
Oh,
Yes.
damn it, is that also the Christmas film?
That is also a Christmas one.
Son of a
Yes. Oh wait, does that
Does
mean
Shane
he's
Black
just
only write
obsessed with
Christmas movies?
Seems like it.
Yeah.
I can't wait. The last Boy Scout I haven't seen since the
Oh,
90s.
I
I
love
don't
that
remember
movie,
if that
but-
one takes place at Christmas or not. No, it takes
Speaking of
place during the
language, that one would
football
not hold up
season.
today.
That's
Like,
true, it would not.
Yeah, that movie's just offensive jokes after offensive jokes.
And also, apparently, the Long Kiss Goodnight killed everybody's career involved in that, and he had to fight his way back to get Kiss Kiss Bang Bang made. So,
Except Samuel L.
Wait.
Jackson.
And Gina
Apparently.
Davis.
yeah, Gina
Brian
Davis's
Cox.
career.
Yeah, they put Rennie Harlan in director jail after that.
hmm
Gina Davis
But
like 15 years, right? Like she emerged eventually, but
Yeah, it took a while. It
There-
did take a
there-
while.
they're playing that at the review this month.
Which makes me think it might also be a Christmas movie.
And it's not
Yeah.
it's not a bad movie either.
Shane Black, what is your thing with Christmas? Get back to me. Let me know.
Look, my connection with Christmas is two dudes solving a mystery that's like more violent than it needs to be.
definitely an informant in an awkward Santa costume of some description.
Yes.
Just to let you know, A Long Kiss Goodnight does take place at Christmas time.
Hey,
It does.
Okay, just
Yeah,
the nice
look at
guys.
Let's see.
well-
I don't think so,
Looking
but
up.
it's
Yeah,
LA
I doubt
Christmas,
it.
so there's no snow. I can't remember.
I have one other note about the buddy cop / buddy comedy vibe of these two, of Robert Downey Jr. and Val Kilmer, which I loved. But specifically, when they pause the flashback for Robert Downey Jr. to yell at the extras to get out of the shot, and then he circles the sign and he's like, "That's me. I was the amazing hero." These two are the Emperor's New Groove. Prove me wrong. Right? There's that thing where he gives Harry what mouth to mouth, right? And I was thinking of like, it was
Yeah.
the kiss of life. I don't care what it was disgusting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the blood
but
comes
also,
out.
I'm sorry, when the because you know that means it's coming out of his lungs. Well, because it's all frothy and
Don't
stuff.
tell me, yeah. It's good.
Oh my god. Okay, so first of all, The Nice Guys does not take place at Christmas, but there is a scene in the movie where they talk about Christmas celebrations. And apparently there is an article from Empire magazine that talks about his Christmas settings for his movies.
Okay.
Just an
Um,
FYI.
for any
Another
as to why?
Because Iron Man 3 also takes place during Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah. It's crazy.
to go back to Leah's point of like just the buddy cop dynamic. Who else was deeply frustrated that they were named Harry and Perry?
God damn it.
I definitely was.
I hated that.
I'm really glad Perry did not put on a fedora at any point, because then he'd have to be a platypus. So
That
Ah.
would have helped.
But also they called him Gay Perry, so it actually wasn't that confusing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I have trouble parsing dialogue at the best of times, and this was not the best of times, this movie. And like when Val Kilmer showed up at the party, here's what I got. I took notes. He's gay. Detective practice. I did not know what that meant. And a talking monkey. I didn't
oh yes,
His name
I heard
was
there was a
Perry.
thing about Talking Monkey. Yes.
until he went underwater and Robert Downey Jr. was yelling, "Perry, Perry." And I was like, is he just yelling his own name? Like, what's happened? Luckily, I watched these with my.
Yes.
I was so mad.
Yeah, no, I found it very annoying whenever I was just like, did he say Perry or Harry? Who's she calling again? I don't even know. It's fine. Whatever.
I
mean,
I did also really like just that, like, what so that being intentionally like obfuscating about even our characters are named the same, and then the plot just getting too wild, too out there. Like they were just like, and then we're gonna put this complication on it and this complication on it, and just be like, listen, it's gonna be like the novels, like they say, like
Mhm.
this movie is very much wearing what it's trying to do on its sleeve, and so it's like, yeah, we're gonna make it cute and like overly complicated because that's what detective stories are like, right?
Yeah. I will say this is one of the few movies where at the end when one of the characters does a full exposition about the whole movie, I was really happy about because half the time I was just like, what? Like I'm happy I watched it. I thought it was cool when it was happening, but then by the end I realized I'm like, I don't understand how they got to this point. Like what 2 + 2 = 4 part is in here? I got like 2 + 8 - 6 + 35. But it was a whole different equation that I was really happy they went over at the end.
There's a scene, the scene near the end where he says Allison Ames, Ames. That's Harmony's stage name because I have a note about it, the exact dialogue, and then she goes yes, and then he goes that's and he runs away or something, and or it cuts or something. And I was just like, what?
What? Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I was lost too.
It didn't super matter because I still had a good time watching the movie, and also I watched them like went back and was like, it's about the credit card, and how did you know that? He just mumbled endearingly.
Exactly. I feel like this movie gets away with a lot of things just because you like the characters and you're just like, you be weird. I just want to see you be this crazy person. This is what I'm here for.
Yes.
Yeah, what classic example of that? I mean, I don't know if everyone else had the same opinion, but that scene where he's like, he discovers the body in his shower and he's like completely like,
Yes.
he fucking peed on a
He
corpse.
peed on it.
It's awful and offensive, but the way that it's all happening, like I was cackling. I was just like, oh,
Yes.
I'm not be laughing about this, but it's very, very funny. Like they actually managed to like walk that line where you're like, this guy is such a dumbass. It like doesn't even come off as particularly disrespectful because
Yeah.
he's
Also, I peed all over it. What do you mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
They do some horrible things to that corpse in this movie. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
when they throw it off the building and you think it's gonna land in the dumpster, and then just the head hits it and the body
Yeah.
falls out. Oh, it's
yeah,
so
but again, there's
so funny.
There's no like ill intent there. It's just like, oh, this guy's a mess.
Yeah.
He cannot stop getting bodily fluids on dead women. That is just. I had a note about it, and then I was going to make I'd have 2 nickels, which would be weird if it happened twice. But I would make that joke. Except then he gets spit all over Perry.
Yeah.
Like, wait, stop rubbing things on corpses.
Yeah. What a strange movie.
What a
It
strange
really-
movie.
it
Why
really
is that in my
is.
notes?
But also, I think that like Tracy, your point about like not following it all the way, I don't think it matters. Like I think it happens too quickly for like it's intentional to be like, wait a minute, why does that even make sense? Like even if
Yeah.
you're following the plot, it's going too fast. Like quote unquote, like the clues that they're following, like it doesn't give you a moment to breathe and think about, does that even make sense for the criminal to have done that? Because it doesn't matter.
It
What
doesn't
matters
matter,
is,
exactly.
yeah, what matters is like the next scene where they're being charming together or being exciting together, or like like a new twist happens. Like it's driving itself like one of those cheap dime store novels, which they keep referring to. It's
Well,
like
that's the whole
yeah,
point, right?
it's
Yeah.
so good. So it doesn't matter if you're following the plot like closely and you're like, yes, this excellent puzzle box has clicked exactly into place. It's like, no, we're throwing shit at the wall here. Spaghetti is sticking.
That's what I meant about the story careening, right? Like it doesn't follow a straight line. It doesn't follow like a nice meandering path. It just like skids in sideways. And it's just like at all points, it's like, where are we going next? I wonder. Like there's no, it's logical when they bring it back, but as it's presented, it's like, yeah, no, just like this giant skid mark through the whole center of the plot.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
It was charming though. It was fun. I didn't
Yeah.
care what was going on, which is hard.
I was so curious about what kind of health insurance he had.
There's no such thing.
Not enough.
But he was in the hospital multiple times.
Multiple, like his thumb detached.
Oh, I forgot about that scene, and it's just so gross.
So gross.
Hospitals to start.
Yeah.
The finger thing again was like the perfect example of I was like, oh, that's kind of dumb. I was like, oh, they actually chopped his whole finger off with the slamming the door. That seems weird. And then they just kept like sticking with this ridiculous thing about him losing his finger. And like again, I was like, that's a dumb joke. And then they just stuck with it long enough that I was like, oh damn, this is a funny joke. Like
Yeah.
they had to. It took a while for me to come around to it, and they committed to it in a way that I was surprised.
Well, the thing is, it wasn't even just a severed finger. He just kept being the one to get beat up. Even when Perry was there or when Harmony was there and they were like captured together, he's the one who got like smacked in the head and punched in the face, bitten.
Did he get
balls
shocked in the balls?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ball sack.
You're just like, because I was watching the movie, I'm just like, you should look a lot more damaged than you are right now. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he's basically the O'Brien from Star Trek in this movie because he's just constantly being tortured or hurt, and that's also very similar in The Nice Guys. Ryan Gosling is he has a broken arm and he's getting hurt in other ways. I think he breaks his nose and
Yes.
Yeah.
Just by the end of the movie, he's just
Well,
covered in
and,
like
and he
bandages.
cuts his wrist, but like as
that's right.
Tracy
Yeah,
said,
yeah. The scene we already talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so good.
So apparently Leah has written down the titles of these dime store books.
What?
And like I was gonna write them down, like everyone that I saw, but the thing is they're not like short titles, they're like full sentences.
Oh, we
Every
paused.
title.
We freeze framed
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a real quick, I'm just going to write these down. And then it was like, sorry.
Just taking too long, yes.
Yeah.
But there were fun titles, I will say.
There absolutely were. We saw on screen, we saw Straighten Up and Die Right. You'll Never Die in This Town Again, which I loved.
Great name.
Die Job, a little bad. And you wouldn't want to live there. In the one tiny shot of the bookshelf, we see a ton of them. But I have my top three, which are Hometown Boy Makes Dead. Right? Give Us This Day, Our Daily Red.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And The Best Laid Man.
The Best Laid Man. Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
There's a whole whack of them, but I appreciate the attention to detail there.
Well, apparently one of the titles for the movie was originally one of those long titles, like one of the Johnny Gossamer books. You'll Never Die in This Town Again was the original title for the movie.
Sense.
Yeah.
You see that book a couple of times.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would maybe make more sense actually than the current title, but all right.
Yeah, the current title, for me, does not do it.
Right, because it is a reference to something, but I don't know what that thing is, nor do I care. So it's kind of like I only know that I read it in the blurb. Like,
well, we're gonna find out during the Christmas quiz or the not so Christmas quiz. So hey, be
Oh, we did
prepared.
look up.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah.
Wait, now I let you. Well, somebody's gonna get a freebie answer here, so because somebody's googling at some point now.
No.
Sure.
We looked it up while we were watching it.
Sure.
Oh yes. Mhm.
Well, because while we're looking, or like, okay, you want Kiss Kiss Bang Bang IMDb, you just type Kiss Kiss Bang Bang into Google, and one of the results isn't a movie. You click on that.
You click on that one, yes.
Like, and I need to be excluded from that question.
God, nobody's being excluded. You just get a freebie answer, most likely. It's fine. One thing I've mentioned before on this podcast is I really like a really good opening like title sequence.
Yes.
Not like a cold open, but like the actual title sequence. I love a good title sequence. And Kiss Kiss Bang Bang has a very lovely 1960s mystery style title sequence that I thoroughly enjoy. That sort of
Yes.
falls along the lines of like Anatomy of a Murder kind of visual aspect to it, meeting like James Bond, it's like that kind of feel with the music and with like the color blocking and like the line drawings, but with like the like shadows and the blah blah blah. I loved the opening sequence of Kisses Bang Bang. I just really liked it.
It's very slick, and it really does sort of set the tone for what you're in for. With like this,
Yes, it really does. It really
mild
does.
substance, but that's not even a criticism because it would be annoying if it took itself more seriously. But
Yeah.
yeah. But no, it does really set it up to be like,
I
oh, is
feel,
that? Yes, all right.
yeah. I feel like especially now, like TV shows an exception, but even though I find a lot of TV show title sequences are very uh redundant. I find a lot of movie title sequences, it's kind of like they skip over title sequences half the time now. Um, but like I miss a good title sequence, right? I know it's gonna
Yes.
sound weird, but a really good title sequence was done in the first Kingsman movie. Fucking
Yep.
love that
Oh
title
yeah.
sequence.
I don't
That
remember.
was such a good title sequence.
That's
Well,
another
there
where it's like it's so the movie is so stylish that they open it that way, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, these guys know what
yes, they know what they're doing,
Well,
right?
and they're doing a pastiche of James Bond, so they need to do one of those, cool openings. Yeah.
Yeah, but my favorite part about that opening sequence is like so they're going up to a compound and they're like things are blowing up on the front of the compound and the rubble is dropping and then turning into like produced by starring and I'm just like this is amazing, great title sequence. And of course like the American version of Girl with Dragon Tattoo, beautiful title sequence. Beautiful title sequence. And there's no cold open to that movie. It just starts with the titles, which is just fantastic.
sometimes that's
Um,
rather than interrupting, because like it takes a certain level of movie to be able to like do a cold open and then have titles and not have it just like completely destroy the flow, right?
yes, but I feel like with anything, there is a person with a skill that has the art to like drop into it and pull out of it and you don't lose the momentum. And I feel like with Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, even though their cold open is just like a little childhood memory, then they do the cold open and sorry, they do the title sequence and then it's he's robbing the store. It you don't lose momentum and then you get a feel for what you're gonna see after. And it really works. Whoever put that together, whoever their editor slash title sequence maker, they did it right. They
Yeah,
worked really well together.
it lets you know that there's going to be it's a flashback movie, right? Like, which is good because sometimes if those come out of nowhere, that's also terribly jarring and messes up the flow.
Yes. Yeah.
Also,
I like the
I don't know who the actor is who played the father or whoever lets her out of the box at the very beginning, but it is where I started keeping a tally of I know who that is versus wait, who the fuck is that? I know that guy. I was
I don't
curious about
think
everybody else's sort of ratio there.
I did not make a note of it. Therefore, I think I did not pick up on who that might have been.
Yeah, I don't think it was a hey, it's that guy for me, but
Yeah.
Familiar
Did you
face.
look up who it was?
I did not. My final count was 6. I recognize this person, but I don't know who it is, and 2. I know who that is, and that was Val Kilmer and Robert Downey Jr. I'm not good with faces.
Well, there was the guy that was his like talent agent. I'm like that guy is in like 800
Oh,
things.
Larry Miller.
Yes,
He is
insane.
fantastic.
Oh.
It's just like the slime, like he's fantastic in this. He's fantastic in general, but like they're just you. I don't think he has that many lines, but he just like you know his entire character
Yes.
the second he looks at Robert Downey Jr. from across the table. You're like,
Yeah.
I know this guy. It's done.
You're like, done. Yes.
I also I know that this is not the case, but for a moment it paints him as the idea of an agent or a agent manager, whatever, who loves every terrible actor that he sees. And that for me, that like I got stuck there for a minute. I was like, that's so funny. But also, this is what you miss now that auditions are all self-taped. You don't get that kind of magic. Just like gunshot Robert Downey Jr. wandering in.
Agreed. Nobody's bursting in anywhere to like get the part, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I associate that actor with 10 Things I Hate About You. He's Bianca and Kat's super overprotective dad. So to me, he reads like a dad. So when I see him in this, I'm just like, oh God, what happened to you, sir?
Really, most of the things I've seen him in, he's some sort of slime ball at some level.
Oh,
So
is.
that's yeah.
Like, shtick, but again, the first thing that I ever remember seeing him in, he's like I mean, he's like completely unhinged, but in a very like, I will keep my teenage daughters safe, like kind of way. So now I'm like confused, sort of my lizard brain is just like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Every time I see him being a creep.
Yeah, you hold on to them in like a certain place. And you're like, no, you're this thing. You're like, no, I'm not. I'm 800 other things. You're like, no.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. One of those weird ones.
Yeah. No. Yeah, and then there was the two henchmen, the white guy and the black guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
The white guy I knew from Romeo plus Juliet from the 90s.
Dash Mihawk, whatever. Yeah.
Yes.
And the guy is from 911.
Is he a 911? The other guys, the black guys from 911?
Is because
Michael.
Alex immediately went,
Yeah.
I've never seen him in anything else.
Yeah. Yeah. He's the husband in 911. Michael.
Oh my God, you're right.
I've literally never seen him in anything else before, and I was like, I know that voice.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Now that because I kept looking at him, I'm like, I know him in something else. I
Yeah.
know what he is.
That's probably what you most recently because he's an anti-vax lunatic who's currently suing Fox or whatever. So I can't imagine he's working a lot these days.
Oh no.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
I don't know. IMDb says he's got 3 upcoming projects. One's a short and 2 are one's in post-production and one's in
Ooh.
pre-production. So
They don't have to all the way get made to be upcoming projects.
yeah. And also
Or even
he's
if they
in-
are, they don't need to have like distribution beyond the whatever One
That's
American
okay.
Network or whatever it
Yeah.
is.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
Oh,
Yeah.
Anyways.
Or Praise Flicks, God Flicks, whatever it's called.
Pureflix. Christian Netflix.
Oh, Christian, oh jeez. Yes.
You don't have it? Come on, it's great.
I have heard of that. And
Genuinely shudder to think what their catalog is.
Oh, it's
This is bad enough when you get into the depths, you know?
yeah, but it's like why Kevin Sorbo can still like afford his mortgage, right? It's like
Mhm.
he just keeps cranking out movies for that.
Yeah.
And Kirk Cameron.
Oh God.
ugh.
Yeah, he won't kiss anybody but his actual wife in a movie, so they have to like slap a wig on her for every kissing scene he does in this horrible weird movie.
Why do they keep writing kissing scenes for him?
That's
Like
a good question.
there are movies that don't have kissing in them.
Yeah. I mean, there are.
It's Kirk Cameron, dude. He's got like
I don't-
one.
I don't think anybody kisses anybody in Bruges.
Yeah,
No,
they do.
Just making out.
Yeah.
No, you're right. No, I apologize.
Several
Never
instances
mind.
Okay.
like that.
Yeah.
So I have just come to a realization. So have any of you guys seen the popular TV show Modern Family?
Yeah.
Do
Oh,
you
like once or
remember
twice.
who Alex Dunphy is? The smart daughter of the Dunphy family. The bookworm
Yes, with the glasses.
with the glasses. She plays the 7-year-old Harmony who gets sawed in half.
Oh,
I just realized that. I'm like, what? This is crazy. But yes. Fine. Again. Oh, I think I know her. But also the picture they have on her in IMDb is unrecognizable. It's crazy. Never mind.
Okay.
No, like the picture they have doesn't look like her face.
okay.
So either she's just aged in such a way that her face has changed quite a bit, or she's done something to her face, which is just annoying. So
We all
I
know
don't
what's
know.
more, but let's hope it's the other thing.
Let's hope it's the other thing. I'm like, you're just maturing into your body. That's fine. Because she started on that show when she was what, like 13, 14. So yeah, that is totally, totally possible.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, who else was the I recognize that guy or person from something face?
Oh, Michelle Monaghan was definitely one of them. That was
Oh,
like,
her,
this
yeah,
is
no,
a
she's
familiar
in
face.
tons of
I
things.
do not know because I was not. I was like, ooh, fun cartoon credits, and then I didn't read any of the names. So
She was in Eagle Eye. There is actually a scene of her part in Constantine was cut out, but there's still a scene of her in it close to the end where they're in like the hospital and they have the holy water and the demons are there and they open the holy water onto them. You see like a close up of her face and she's like, "What is this?" And then they start melting and screaming. That's
oh,
her.
Fun.
She's in there.
True Detective season 1, no?
Yep.
Yeah, she's in True Detective.
Yeah, she's Woody
She's in
Harrelson's
Mission
wife.
Impossible.
Yep.
She's in, well, what, Mission Impossible 3 and Fallout, and she shows up in the other one. Rogue Nation is the other one she shows up in.
Yeah.
Um,
She's really good in this movie. She's super charming.
she's very charming
Yeah.
in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And funny.
Yeah. Like, but also kind of sad. Oh yeah, she's in Source Code, which I think is I like that's a
Love that movie.
fun. It's a good movie to watch,
Yeah.
but at the end of the movie, you think of the implications of it, and you're just like, "That's fucking horrendous."
He just killed a man, essentially. Like
He took over a person's life.
yeah.
Like it's
Now, I mean, he was gonna die in the bombing anyway, so maybe it's okay. I don't know, but it's weird.
but technically they stopped the bombing, therefore
Yeah.
that person should get his life back.
And and Michelle Monaghan knows, right? But she's
It
okay with it.
knows, and she's okay with it.
That's so
Yes.
weird.
She's also in
oh,
Mr.
the
and
Jake
Mrs.
Gyllenhaal
Smith.
train one. Oh,
Yes, that
yes.
one. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Ah, I love a Jake Gyllenhaal in some kind of conveyance, or just in general.
Like, isn't he like actually in a tub or something? Like it's all fake, or
Yeah.
Yeah, they put
Yeah.
his mind into the past to stop a train
Yeah.
bombing.
He died in war, I think.
Yeah, and then you find out that he's actually like not even like a whole body. He's like missing an arm and half his face and a leg, and he's just like he's
it's
being
like way more
suspended and kept
cyberpunk
alive.
than you think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, sounds like a great time. I'll get right on that.
It's awesome. You'll
I mean,
love
it's
you'll
got
love
a
every
lot
minute
of
of
Jake
it.
Gyllenhaal. It's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty much if you're a Jake Gyllenhaal watcher. Is Jess asleep?
Oh.
Oh, okay.
I've been Googling because it's when you guys brought up the movie, it made you made it sound like it was called Swords Curl.
No.
Oh,
It was
source
just-
code.
The head popped
Okay.
to the side, and from my perspective or the camera's perspective, I guess it looked like her eyes were closed. So I
Oh,
apologize.
no, it's just my glasses.
No, her phone's in her lap. No, no, no.
Yeah. No. It was just that her head looked kind of lolled to one side, and again, it looked. I guess because she was looking down at her phone, it looked like they were closed. Sorry.
She's also in those like she's also in Maxine, like that
Yeah,
Oh,
we just saw
trilogy
that.
movies or
I haven't
whatever.
seen that yet.
What? It's good.
Yeah, it's good.
It's the X trilogy.
Oh,
Like that kind of thing. You're gonna like that kind.
engaged with that
Never
yet.
mind.
I don't know, like I feel like I want to watch those movies, but also I feel like they'll just make me feel gross.
Pearl is
I
so
don't
much
know
fun.
if I want to. I don't know if I want to do that.
I sort of
Yeah, I
watch
mean,
them, but not actually sit down to watch them.
Yeah.
we watched them like as they came out, so we didn't like sit down to them as a trilogy that we had to watch or whatever. Like because they're not that. They're just kind of like semi-disposable movies, but they're like they're enjoyable and they're great, but they're aping in the same way that this Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is aping a noir style. They're very much aping the like exploitation ones, especially the first one and the third one. But like so it's just you just watch it and you're like, oh yeah, it doesn't need to make like profound statements, or it doesn't need to be part of a trilogy that you like are like following the lore of. It's just like three movies that happen to like have similar information about. Like I wouldn't consider them like a big undertaking or like cultural like that.
Mhm.
The story's not chronological the way they were released, also, right?
No.
Yeah, it's 213 is the chronology.
Already
Uh,
cheap. I haven't got that down yet.
yeah.
I just want to issue a correction. She is not in Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. Michelle Monaghan shows up in Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol at the very end for like 3 seconds.
Has a whole different meaning to me. I definitely think of those as two different.
Yeah. I did not lose track of that trilogy. Like
I can
50
tell
years
you,
ago.
I have no idea what you just said. Just
Okay, you're welcome. I don't know.
One-
I love Mission Impossible 1,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then past like 4 down to Fallout, I really like, but 2 is garbage. 3 I could skip as all the time.
Almost like the
Two
fact
with
that
the masks.
guys, there's just too many of them.
they're
They're
both
like,
yeah, both franchises that should like push all my buttons that I should be all about, and I'm like, I can't do this. There's too much homework and there's too much stupid. Like too
Which,
much.
I don't mean to impugn your taste, Alex, but that's a lot. You have an ability to
I
tolerate a
really
bunch
love
of shit.
Yes, I really love a lot of very stupid television in particular, but like,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I like my entertainment entertaining, and sometimes that means it's wildly dumb, and I'm usually down for that. But
I'm sorry, as a person who could watch a 15-year show, you could watch 6 Mission Impossible movies.
sure. But am I
You
ever
could
gonna
do it.
do it? I mean, I watched that show over 15 years, to be fair.
To be
So-
fair, yes.
I guess I did rewatch. Oh, maybe I did. I watch all of Supernatural again at once. I watched a lot. I watched like 10 seasons of it during the beginning. I think I had to take a break.
I think you
Yeah.
did great.
I love this series so much, but dear God, let me watch something cheerful.
You did take a break before like the ending.
Yeah, and then it took me a while to watch the last half of the last season because I wasn't ready emotionally for that.
Yeah.
And then I thought I was, and guess what? Nope.
I mean, technically you can skip 1 even because 1 is completely different than all of the rest of the movie.
Oh,
It's
Mission
completely
Impossible-
different.
Possible one.
Yeah, and Mission Impossible 1
I saw
it's
2 and it sucks, and I think I saw 3 and it sucks.
yeah,
And
2
I
2
like
and
3.
3 2 is garbage. Just
Yeah.
throw it out. Just
It's
throw it
unwatchable.
out.
By the motorcycle, right? And it was just
Yes.
man.
It's the John Woo nonsense, yes.
yeah.
3 for me is very like ugh, but I get why people are like I'm okay with 3. I get it.
Philip Seymour Hoffman is such a fun bad guy in that movie.
I just find it so boring and
Wow.
like I mean technically all sequels are unnecessary, but like I find him boring and unnecessary. Like and I really enjoy Philip Seymour Hoffman, don't get me wrong,
Mhm.
but it just in this environment I was just like this isn't working. But the stuff at all the movies after up until the latest one, which is what's the latest one called? Dead Reckoning. Dead Reckoning
yeah.
is stupid.
It's,
They should have
we're
just
battling
ended it at
AI.
Fallout.
Ooh,
Yeah. I'm sorry. Fallout had a perfect ending for the whole series.
we did.
Should have just ended it there. It should have been done. But yeah, up to Fallout is great, and then yeah. So
Dune 2 is not a sequel that is unnecessary. Not all sequels are unnecessary.
That's
okay,
not-
fine, I'll give you that.
That's something that was split into 2 parts, as opposed to like we have a thing and now we're doing this because we can, right? Like
Yeah.
Yep.
You're like, hey, this made money. Let's come up with an idea.
Yeah.
make
No,
more
no,
money.
I get it.
Yeah.
Similar to Two Towers, Return of the King. Like,
Okay, so
you can't just
you
I
can't
was
argue
gonna
with
say-
me about Lord of the Rings. So
You-
it's fine.
I was going to say you can't do just half of it, but that's what they did in the 70s, or with Ralph Bakshi. But yeah, they just did half of it.
yeah.
Look, I prefer, though it's also not great, I do prefer the 90-minute 70s animated Lord of the Rings over the 12-hour/9-hour Peter Jackson behemoth that is half
I
unnecessary.
mean,
So
if I have to choose, so do I.
yeah.
What do you hate more, Tracy? Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter?
Ooh.
Oh, that is.
I mean, look, okay, like
Okay.
setting aside
Hold on. Hold
like
on.
Yeah. Divorce from the
transphobia.
creator, I guess.
To honestly, no, I'm talking about like the content, not the people making it. I'm talking about the content. I cannot officially say I hate Harry Potter. I just don't care, and I
Okay.
have not watched the whole series to make a proper comment. And the reason why I can make a proper comment about the Lord of the Rings series is because I've watched it. I have fucking wasted my time and watched it. By the way, there's a whole episode about this. Go and listen to it. But I have watched it, so I can complain.
Are we seeing the animated movie
I did not
in
claim
theaters?
that episode now because it could have been the two of us just yelling for 3 hours.
Essentially, I sat quiet while everybody talks about it. And they're like, what do you think, Tracy? I'm like, don't ask me. You won't like it.
Grumble, grumble, grumble.
Exactly.
Interminable.
Yeah, and I was asking, like, why did you do more than one episode for Lord of the Rings? I'm like, no, you get one. And I'm doing it just for the podcast because this is what I said I would do.
Right.
Yes.
And you did it with us, and it was awesome.
Lord of the Rings. Me, someone's like, yeah, Lord of the Rings.
No.
But so many drugs, so we could watch the trilogy without him freaking out.
That dog would not survive 1 minute in Lord of the Rings land. That's
No.
right? It's set in Lord of the Rings land.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I'll argue all day, every day that the Hobbit movies are garbage.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Wrapped in bullshit, but Lord of the Rings ones are pristine.
It shouldn't have been. It should have been a 2 film.
One.
No, could have been one.
No, they were never going to do
I
it.
agree. One.
It should have been 2 instead of 3.
Yeah, it was
Most
such a
things that are 2 films should have been 1.
Yeah.
But can we just see? Is it the Farrell? Oh, I love him.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yes. Well, I'm glad that you're not as anti Harry Potter because we're gonna have to talk about that when we talk about it in Bruges because
I did hear Harry Potter when I was mixing my drink in the kitchen, and I also wanted to run back and hear what you were going to say.
there's some significant. So we're going to have to discuss that at some point.
But yeah, given that we've brought up Lord of the Rings, written by a devout Catholic with some issues around that, shall we move on to In Bruges?
Good transition to priest.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, Mike is taking control because he's like, I need to talk about this movie because you don't
I love it.
understand.
Most skeptical.
Really,
even I don't.
Sounds Lambs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly I watched both of these movies and I have like no notes because I was busy watching the movies. So yes, we can talk. You know what? No, before we get to In Bruges, per the usual, we got to do the Christmas quiz in between the movies.
Per usual was right there. Tracy.
Per usual. Before you get to In Bruges,
Tracy,
talk
get
about
it clean so you can cut it in.
Is the quiz always in between?
Yeah, usually.
It's usually in between the it's usually at the halfway point, right? So like when we do the episodes, it's like between episode 3 and 4, and the movies it's between 1 and 2. Yeah.
That started in self-defense during the Bailey's year, didn't it? When everyone was so
It did, where it was clearly my fault because
100%.
I gave everybody a bunch of sugar and a bunch of alcohol, and then the snacks were a bunch more sugar, and then yes,
you were mostly sober, and everyone else was like,
and I was just
the workshop got hammered.
I know. I got I was listening to the recording after, and I was editing it, and I was just like, what did I do? I think that was one of the few episodes where I had to put interstitial music to jump from part to part because it was just I can't. Everybody's mumbling and yelling, and I can't cut this in a way that it sounds like normal conversation.
I don't generally like to hear my recorded voice, obviously, especially because I sound like a teenager. But I think that was the first time I listened to one because I was just like, "How is this episode going to turn out?" Because Slow slide into like mania that happened the first time.
I don't remember it. I just remember the drinks.
Yeah. Well, because was that the year I made everybody like the giant hot chocolates with
hot chocolate with like 5 ounces? That's why, because I didn't have it. I can't hack that much sugar. So
that's when you gave us mugs too. I still have it. It's a
Yeah, I still have mine too.
And I think the snacks on the table were, because it was hot chocolate, you had to put like little marshmallows in the cups, everybody's cup. And the snacks were the rest of the marshmallow bag and like candy canes. And funny thing is, I was like, there's no way anybody's going to eat this because they're going to be too hopped up on sugar from the hot chocolate. And then everything was completely gone by the end of the recording. And I was like, I did this to myself.
What are you talking about? Like, it's inevitable.
It was inevitable. It was inevitable.
Anyway, okay, get this quiz. Let's do this.
Let's do this quiz. All right, we're gonna get started with the not so Christmas quiz. Because we're talking about movies that happen at the holidays, but don't really talk or anything has to do anything with the holidays. I mostly have questions that have nothing to do with the holidays, but just with the movies this year. So here go the quiz. I guess the buzzer will just be you yelling your name, I think is what we're gonna do. And Sean, you're notorious for yelling at the answer before yelling your name, so remember that.
He's muted. Just stay muted.
All right. Question number 1. Woo. The term kiss kiss bang bang is actually slang for what?
Oh.
I literally mentioned earlier this was going to be a question, so I don't know.
No, I knew it was a song. But
it's a song sung by Shirley Bassey that was originally going to be part of Thunderball. I know, but the term comes from somewhere.
Worst one.
Yeah.
I love that everybody's just staring at me blankly. Okay, this is great. Anybody going once?
What? Alex had a thought.
Alex, what was it?
Oh, I said the worst one night stand ever.
No. I want to give that a yes, but no.
Not a lot of foreplay in that kiss kiss bang bang.
No. Yeah, it was also like a compilation of noir stories or something, right? Like it's not just a song. I think it's also some literary noir. So yeah, no, I got nothing. I'm just talking.
I Googled, so I'm just gonna stay out of this.
All right, Jess is the cheater. What answer did you get?
This is what the internet says, that it's used to describe super or sexy super spy genre.
Correct. And it was especially created to describe James Bond movies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which already have a descriptor, which is James Bond movies, so that seems weird.
Well, technically it's it was actually created, it was like Italy, I think it was that it said. It was like an Italian thing. They're like, like James Bond, kiss, kiss, bang, bang. And then it's like that type of movie, which is usually a spy movie, was called that as slang for a while.
It's a terrible one night stand, so I feel I should get half a point.
You get half a point.
Just one night stand that are dead or in prison sometimes.
I agree with you. Yes. Like when I found that out, I was like, you know what? That actually kind of makes sense because he is just a guy who goes around, sleeps with a bunch of people, then shoots a bunch of people, then sleeps with people, and then shoots more people. So
I will say, yeah, like I haven't seen all of the Mission Impossible movies, but the later ones, being like relatively sexless, is probably a good thing for everybody involved. Like we don't need
Tom
to
Cruise.
engage with Tom Cruise's whatever is going on there. But so like he doesn't need to be a sexual icon the way that like Sean Connery was in the 60s. He can just be like, hey, I run real fast and I kill terrorists. That's totally cool. We don't need to
I absolutely agree. I really don't need to put up with what's going on over there. It's fine.
Judge Dredd rules for Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
he's a present stunt guy. He's not like the lady killer.
No. What movie did I watch and I was convinced that it was the least like sexy thing ever. What's the plain
Tom
one?
Cruise.
Yeah, the plain one. Maverick.
Oh, Top Gun.
Top Gun.
Top Gun.
Oh, God. Like
Wow.
no chemistry.
Sorry.
Not sexy.
The first
No.
one.
Sorry, you watched that entire volleyball scene and you didn't think that there was anything sexy going on?
The man was like a slice of cardboard. I don't get it.
I've never seen Top Gun. Do they play
Yes.
volleyball on the airplanes?
Sorry.
He has
Homosexual chemistry, A plus. Actual what they were trying to get at, no. Because
nowhere in there.
they were the least sexiest couple I've ever seen. Like it was so dry.
She actually is.
Yeah, but you're an actor. You should be able to portray sex appeal with the person you're supposed to. If not, you're not a good actor. He's not a good actor.
No, that's why
I
that's why
disagree.
he does.
I disagree too.
I think like Tom
I think
Cruise.
he has very bad, like, there are things he is bad at, and that's one of those things.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like,
This is why
they
he
should
should
not.
jump out of planes and not kiss people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, every
I think
movie
it's
that Tom Cruise doesn't kiss a person, I'm like, this is, or even every scene that he's in that
Yeah.
he's not kissing a person, I'm like, damn, that's a pretty good scene of a movie, you know?
Don't touch others. How
Yeah.
about-
Yeah.
So you know how in like a lot of action movies, there's always like a random shot for the quote unquote girlfriend who gets dragged to the movie, quote unquote, like I said, to watch the movie. They have some random shirtless scene from the star of the movie, right? It happened in Thor. It happens in all of those MCU movies, to be honest.
I mean, yes.
Yeah, and every time they have those shirts, you're like, yes, damn, what? You know, even though I'm there for the story, not just the shirtless scene.
I'm the girlfriend doing the
Sure.
drag. I'm still into it.
Exactly. And I'm still down with all of it.
Billy Atwell
But-
is all. Anyway.
But in Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, there's a scene where Tom Cruise is escaping from the hospital, and there's a scene where he is shirtless, right? And he's supposed to be like fit Ethan Hunt shirtless. And it was like I looked away from the screen. I'm sorry. I was just like, no. I don't know what is going on with your chest
So
and your body.
Yeah.
It was just like, I don't know what is going on. So it's more than just his lack of being able to act sexy. It's just like his physical, even though he's probably in peak physical condition, his body is shaped really weird, and you're just like, you need to put that away.
At a certain point, like, you know.
He's also getting up.
Yeah, like
you can only keep that physique going for so long. Like isn't he like 60?
Oh yeah, he's not a young man.
Yeah.
In his 60s, and it's
Which, like, do you, boo? But also, it doesn't seem like he really wants to be doing that. Like, if he was like, you know, like, there's what's the old Santa guy who's just like, yeah, look at me, I'm super hot. I'm gonna like take my shirt off, and it's like, oh, that confidence is super hot. Whereas Tom Cruise is just like, I guess I'll take my shirt off. I go to the gym a lot, and it's just like, this doesn't appeal to you. This doesn't
No.
appeal
He
to anybody.
wants somebody filming him running really fast for a long time and like climbing things, like, because he's got the like kick-ass cardio. You know, I'm worried about when he goes down the weird rabbit hole of like taking young people's blood to try and rejuvenate himself, which is just like any day now. Any day now.
Virgins, okay? Like I don't know what.
But like no. Like I mean, he is, you know, had enough money to maintain like his physicality, like for his entire life, and I think that's good. And the fact that he can do it is one of the reasons why he keeps funding these, Mission Impossible movies, which is totally cool. It's just that, like, you know.
But he's like, the thing is, he
doesn't want to be a sex symbol anymore. He just wants to be like, look how fucking fast and long I can run.
He is very impressive, but not in an eye candy capacity. So let's keep our shirts on and do stupid things that are
but the thing is, he does still make fun movies, because like I think the last movie I saw him like make out with somebody in was in Oblivion, but like that was completely separate from like the story being told. Great movie, beautifully visual. The future designs of like the structures, and there's like a plane, and there's a motorcycle, and there's a gun, and there's like all this stuff. Very cool, very interesting. And then there was The Edge of Tomorrow, fantastic sort of Groundhog Day type of storytelling. Such great movies. The Mummy, horrible, garbage. Don't watch it. It's fine. But like, there's no like he's also like actively removed sexuality from a lot of the content that he makes.
I agree.
Because I think like what Mike is saying, he's just like, no, I'm not a sex symbol anymore. I'm an action star. I'm here to like kick ass and take names, and I know everybody's name already. Like
I'm all out of bubblegum. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we also were talking earlier about Tropic Thunder as a Robert Downey Jr. movie, but he's in that as a guy with like weird, like somebody else is doing his hands. It's so awesome. Like he's a funny, great actor, and if he wasn't the mouthpiece for like a dangerous organization of psychos, then I would be even more in his court, because he's to me, this is just my personal headcanon, but he's an asexual icon. It's like he never wanted to have sex with anybody. Like he had chemistry when he was young, just because he was like oozing charisma, because that's the only way you can make it in Hollywood when you're 5'6" or whatever. It's like you have to be so much better at vibing with people. But like I don't think he probably hasn't had sex for 20 years. Or if he does, it's like some weird Scientology like ritual that the like
Xenu has to watch.
Yeah, exactly.
He was all the way in Eyes Wide Shut. I mean, just saying.
Right?
I've never watched that movie.
I've never seen it either.
That's the sexy movie on earth, right? Like even with his own wife, it was just like, oh, that's not. Wait, why are we? Oh, wait, no.
Can we talk about the raw sex appeal of the Irish?
Okay, first of all, we are not done. We've asked one question of the quiz so far.
Man, what a tangent we went on.
Oh my God, we're in the quiz.
25 minutes later. The thing about Tom Cruise, I don't want to see his nipples because of insert screed here and then.
Movies you forgot were set at the holidays, and podcasts you suddenly decide might be about Mission Impossible by mistake.
By mistake.
Go, Tracy. Go.
Question number 2. I also accidentally said the answer to this question earlier. What is the name of the fictional character that Harmony loves?
Johnny got. Oh wait, I'm not supposed to yell at the answer.
No, you got it. Yell your own name.
Johnny Gossamer, right?
No,
correct.
Yell your own name.
Yell your own name first. That's your buzzer.
Can I do it? You said yes. Can I say the answer? And you said yes.
Alex, go.
Yes.
What if a Tom Cruise crazy is that? Anyway,
Alex, go.
Johnny Gossamer was right. Alex, I gave you the point, even though you didn't yell your own name. It's fine.
I get to yell my own name.
Okay.
So she's at 1.5 points already. That's great.
Smoking y'all.
Question number 3. During the scene where the girl with the pink hair is killed, what almost unrecognizable holiday song is playing?
Damn it.
It's on the radio in the background.
I was just looking at that fine lady that was dead.
Blue Christmas. Leah.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Do you know who that actress is?
Yeah.
Isn't it the same girl that was in A Knight's Tale?
Yes, that's the role I know her from. Like I love that movie.
Also on my list of who is that.
But I literally did the full on head tilt. And I was like,
Yeah.
Wait, is that?
Yeah.
And she was in that Josh Hartnett classic where they don't fuck each other for 40 million days.
Wait,
40 Days
what
and 40
movie is
Nights?
that?
Yeah, that was
40 Days, 40 Nights.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever watched that movie.
Oh, you should. He walks around with a raging boner. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And then they both orgasm by blowing on each other, but
Oh yeah.
with a flower. I remember I was like 16 and being like, "Oh my God, this is amazing!"
Oh my God.
And then you watch it as an adult, and you're like, "What the fuck?" Like he blows a flower on her, and she comes. In what world?
Share your secrets, weird 90s
Yeah.
movie.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm real confused right now. I'm real confused.
It's
So
a real
filmmakers, to be fair.
yeah. Why they did I don't know because they couldn't touch each other, so they had to blow flowers.
Yeah.
You know, that's how they orgasm.
Okay, please stop talking about blowing flowers. It's just getting worse.
A more a better piece of media about not being able to touch each other is Pushing Daisies. If anybody's watched that,
Oh, dang.
fantastic thing where the two the main couple love interest cannot physically touch because he will kill her permanently forever. And that is wonderful, and also stars now in his 40s or something. Sex icon.
Lee Pace?
Lee Pace.
This bisexual man, he's good.
Yeah.
Who's Lee Pace?
Is it horrible that when he was like in Guardians of the Galaxy, he was all blue and shit, and I was like, oh, now I see why you're hot.
In The Hobbit as Theandril? My God.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh my God.
So
the antlers.
He's married to a sexy man. He is 6'5".
Yeah,
he's
really
gorgeous.
Also, he in the Hobbit movies. He plays Orlando Bloom's father, the King of the Elves of Mirkwood, and he is 2 years younger than Orlando Bloom.
And he's the one who rides. Doesn't he ride like a weird like fantasy deer or something?
Yeah. Whatever. I was
he's a good looking dude. I get it.
I was Hobbit pilled before I like knew how to read. So like for me, the like elves are like the freaky like alien monsters that they are in the Hobbit, not the like cool, exciting things that are in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Have you guys watched the show Foundation?
No, not yet.
Right. He's the only reason people watch that, I think.
Yes. It's true. I think you would very much enjoy that, FYI. Yeah. If you're into all that like 6'5" slenderness and be like
about just pure charisma and sex, the opposite of Tom Cruise is Lee Pace. And he was in Pushing Daisies. That's when I first saw him, and I fucking loved that. I loved Zooey Deschanel. I can't say her name.
Zooey Deschanel.
Is it Zooey Deschanel in Pushing Daisies?
No.
It's a Zooey Deschanel like.
Yeah.
Proto Zoe, if you will.
Yeah, as we were talking about, like, Robert Downey Jr. like in 2005 wasn't a thing. It's like in Pushing Daisies, it was like still a new thing. It's like, oh, it's a wisecracking lady who has bangs. You know,
it's her. Oh, you would know, but you would recognize her. Wait, have any of you guys seen Land of the Lost, like the Will Ferrell movie?
No.
Fucking great movie, guys. You should watch it. You
really?
would actually enjoy the fuck out of that movie. That movie's hilarious.
Okay.
It has been slept upon.
I'm not gonna like a Will Ferrell movie, and then I mostly end up liking. Yes, like
you. Yeah, I think you would. I think you would enjoy it. That's the movie I know her most from. I'm looking through her filmography.
Danny McBride is second listed on Land of Lost, so
yeah.
I can see why I skipped it. Maybe it is slept on, but that's why I skipped it.
Look, Lee Pace also wonderful in Bodies, which we finally saw.
Yes,
I did not see Bodies.
Wait, the A24 movie?
Yes,
highly recommend.
It actually is on my list to watch, and I haven't gotten around to it.
Oh. Yeah.
Again, it's a horror movie.
Highly recommended for just like a fun watch. You throw it on. It's got like a little bit of mystery, a little bit of like a lot of like Gen Z dumbness, and then you watch it all and you're like, oh damn, good call.
I did see and I normally don't catch twists like quickly, but in that movie I caught it almost immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Myself.
Like it's just like what matters is the character dynamics about them being like the worst people.
I honestly didn't like the movie as much as a lot of other people did.
Oh, okay. Well, then
I wonder if it's like a hype thing.
Tracy, what's the?
Well, I deserve that.
Tracy, you can cut that. I love Strawn.
I know, you're kidding.
We're actually up to question 4. We've gotten real far in this quiz so far. Question number 4. What famous individuals show up in Harry's daydream about happy American endings for movies? Do you know what part I'm talking about? when he wakes up in the hospital and he's voiceovering and he's like, oh, like it's one of those American movies where everybody lives and like the girl with the pink hair shows up and like the two guys he kills shows up and blah blah blah.
Yeah, definitely Elvis. Do I have to name more than one?
There's two of them.
Have a point. Abraham Lincoln.
Correct.
Oh wow, I think you were kidding.
Correct. Yes. You get a full point for that one, Leah. Good job.
I'm on the scoreboard. Watch out, Alex. Here I come.
Question number 5. When trying to get Harry to leave town, Perrin mentions what actor wants too much money.
Oh, Sean.
Sean.
Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell. Sean's on the scoreboard. He's
Really
he's in there.
Yeah, it ties the movies together.
Yeah, it made me laugh when that came up.
Also, fun side note, because the Robert Downey Jr. and I apologize, I've just forgotten the female.
Kilmer?
Michelle Monaghan.
Michelle Monaghan.
Yeah, Monaghan. So there's in the movie they're supposed to be playing roughly the exact same age, but he's about 9 years older than her.
Mm-hmm.
They're both about 5 years away from the age they're supposed to be playing. But Colin Farrell is the same age as Monaghan. Like he was born in the same year as Monaghan. So he
Be a better match.
but also in 2005 is like he would have been the young up and comer that Robert Downey Jr. is already like over the hill for, which is the reveal most of the way through the movie.
Yeah. Nice. All right, next question. What other Oscar-nominated film did Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson star in together?
Sean.
Mike. Sorry. Sean, try to go first.
Banshees of Inisherin? Is it?
Yes.
Okay, I always screw up the name of the
Mike,
island.
I yelled your name for you.
Sorry. Yeah, no. But also, same writer-director as in Bruges.
Yep.
Is it? Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Yep.
Okay.
That was an intentional reconfiguring of the exact same team.
Yeah.
For Banshees of Inisherin.
And if you haven't seen the movie, it's really, really good.
It's so good.
It's amazing.
Also,
it is
some
on my
finger
list.
severing. Just to tie it in with Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Yeah. Wait, what?
There's some finger severing.
Oh, finger severing. I was like, excuse me? Like it's
in the most fucked up way.
Next
I think it's in the trailer, unfortunately. I wish they hadn't shown that.
Okay.
That's why you don't watch trailers for movies you want to watch.
I know. I love trailers though.
I only watch movies for trailers for movies that I'm not sure about. Then I'll watch the first trailer.
Same.
And if I'm like into it, I don't watch anymore. But if I'm not into it, then maybe I'll watch a next one. But if I'm like, I know the actors in it. I know this is the premise. I'm not watching a trailer. It's fine.
Yep.
As I think all of you know, if I'm in the theater and a trailer comes on for something I know I'm going to see, I will just straight up shut my eyes. Just be like, la la la, I cannot hear or see.
Yeah, you guys have all seen me do it, so
no, me too. But
also
like
thing.
the threshold for like movies I am going to see is very compared to you, Tracy, who has a very, let's say, discerning taste.
Wow, very diplomatic.
I'm more of a movie slut in that I will watch, like, it takes very little to convince me to watch a movie. So when I'm not convinced, I'm like, yeah, I will watch your trailer. Like, convince me.
That's true, actually.
Yeah. Mike, you've got more of a Mandarin buffet sort of approach to movies.
Yeah.
Fried oysters, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. When I'm home and not doing anything, I feel like I'm the same way. Like if something's on, I'll just watch it. But if you're asking me to go put on clothes, go outside, pay money, and sit in a theater watch it, I'm sorry. I'm gonna be real picky.
It'd be worth it. Yeah.
Yep. And next, I don't know what question number we're on, but here's the next question. Within 5, how many fucks are said in Bruges?
In Bruges. Oh. Okay, Mike,
Mike.
37.
Legit?
No, no,
I'm gonna say 100. Or Sean, 100.
no.
Leah,
Oh.
253.
Okay, so less than Nelia, higher than Sean.
182.
Less than 182.
129.
Jessica gets it. It's 126.
Oh, okay. Whoa.
Tracy, did you count?
No, it's online. It's there.
Someone did.
That's true. So apparently there's a fuck every 1.18 minutes.
That seems
It's a
slow.
deeply Catholic movie.
I love too. So wait a minute.
Okay, so this might be a hard question. But I was like, let's try. Okay. So when Ken finally gets the call from Harry, another connection because there's two people in Harry. What aptly named movie is he watching in the hotel room?
Oh.
I don't remember.
The scene on the TV, it's in black and white, and a guy's by a car trunk, puts something in, closes it, and runs away. The phone rings, and he turns off the TV. That's the scene.
Yeah, I have no idea. Wow.
Sorry, which movie? In Bruges or the?
It's in Bruges.
Okay,
right?
I know the scene, but I don't.
Yeah,
really-
I don't know
Okay.
either.
Yeah.
Huh.
Black and white movie. I probably can't identify it at 50 Faces, even unless it's like Casablanca. So.
Yeah.
Or Psycho.
Is everybody giving up?
Yeah.
It was Touch of Evil.
Oh, damn.
Touch of Evil.
What's Touch
A
of Evil?
classic noir, which
Oh.
connects us to Kissing Kiss Bang Bang again.
Yeah.
Yes. But also it's in reference to Ken coming into the story. Touch of Evil. Touch of Evil.
What? It's like they thought about that movie. It's like it's a really good movie.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
So okay, next question. Okay, so this is gonna be very entertaining for Sean. I don't know about anybody else.
Star Trek.
It is not a Star Trek question,
What?
surprisingly. Not a
Bones.
Star Trek question.
No.
Mike
Jordan
the Ferengi.
Plain noir?
Jordan Prentice, who plays Jimmy,
Yeah.
once helped portray a character that is now has a minor role in the MCU.
Oh, Leah, Howard the Duck.
Correct.
Jordan's
Oh.
a hometown boy. Represent Toronto.
Wait,
Yeah.
so you know I love Howard the Duck?
I mean, it's cheese. I'm assuming you would like it.
I used to watch a lot as a kid.
It's a really inappropriate movie. Like,
Oh,
as
yeah.
an adult, I rewatched it and I was just like, why did I watch this as a child? This is wrong.
It's like there's a scene where he's reading up a play duck, and you see a naked duck, like you see her boobs.
Oh, so nothing about the bestiality in there? Oh, okay. Sure. Let's just go with
Oh
it.
yeah, and he wants to have sex with what's her name?
Leah
The mom
Thompson,
from Back to the
right?
Future.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Many
Johnny,
of the
thank you.
actors in Bruges have acting credits in what movie series? Yeah, there you go. Jess gets it, even though she didn't say her name.
Blur and
Wait, I can think of two.
Voldemort.
Voldemort.
Yeah.
Well, there's Ray Fiennes and Gleeson.
Yeah.
And there's like
whatever
four
her
of them.
Wait,
Who else?
sorry, I didn't hear what Jess said. Was it Harry Potter?
Yeah.
It was Harry Potter,
Oh,
yes.
You've got
Because-
like Mad-Eye Moody, which is a police officer. You've got Voldemort, the big baddie. You've got Fleur Delacour, which is a French student who's in the fourth book and films. And then who's
Who,
the
ironically,
But
Donald Gleeson, who is Brendan Gleeson's son.
marriage, woo, family.
It's not ironic. It's just coincidental.
Who's the fourth?
There's what's his name? His name is Ciarán Hinds. He plays Aberforth Dumbledore in Deathly Hollows.
That sounds made up. I am to Harry Potter what
he is the guy.
most
so
other
he is-
people on this call are to Lord of the Rings.
Okay. He's the guy who plays the priest that he shoots. He plays
Oh,
Dumbledore's
yes.
brother.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
he's
the
in
other
Game
guy.
of Thrones and he's in a lot of British TV.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that must be a flashback. With
that
her.
must be a
Okay,
flashback. Okay, cool.
Mhm.
4 of them.
Hey.
Love that. I'm
Yeah. We
not
only got
surprised.
3.2 of those. So
Yeah.
With a bunch of Irish or English people, and it's like half the Harry Potter cast.
All right.
other way around. But yeah.
Yes, yes. You know what I'm saying.
Harry Potter was just like, do you act in the British Isles?
So, I have a bonus question in case of a tie, and Jess and Leah are tied at 3. Okay? So, Jess and Leah, here's your bonus question. When playing 6 Degrees of Separation, you know what that is, right? When you pick like the actors and how the movies connect to each other. When playing 6 Degrees of Separation, between these 2 movies, there is 1 degree of separation in a movie. What is the movie that is the connector between these 2 movies?
I forgot everything about everybody who's in either of these movies. Wait, which movies are these? Oh, I crumble under pressure.
So it's Robert Downey Jr., Val Kilmer, Michelle Monaghan are the leads.
Mhm.
And then you have Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson, Ray
But
Fiennes.
something about Batman. They're
Well,
not in the same movie. They're in the same universe.
I wonder if there's an Iron Man crossover. Is there not? Or is Ray Fiennes and Val Kilmer, do they
No.
party? No?
I will tell you right now, it is Colin Farrell and Val Kilmer. It is a crossover.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy, do I not know. No, but I must know.
It is not anywhere near what you guys are thinking so far.
It's not Batman related. We're sure. Batman and the Penguin.
Well, what I found was not Batman.
It's got to be something embarrassing, right?
And it's like they acted together on screen.
Is this like Miami Vice or something?
It is not Miami Vice.
Phone
They're
booth?
posting some weird stuff.
I will tell you, it is a historical drama
Oh my god.
that I hate. Like, I hate this
They're all
movie.
historical drama.
He's attractive and he has an Irish accent. He got all manner of shit when he was trying to pay rent. Val Kilmer though, like
Val Kilmer.
I mean, he's made some duds, but
also he hasn't been acting in a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So this has got to be old.
This movie came out before Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
right.
Oh boy.
Also, Val Kilmer, he had throat cancer and stuff. Like his mouth doesn't work anymore. There was a major thing in his last on-screen performance about
Maverick.
that must have been much later. Yeah, no, I was thinking about the snowman.
The snowman, yeah.
Oh, that, yeah. They had a double.
Yeah,
Sorry,
exactly.
Alex, wait, Alex.
What? Oh, I was saying
What
like,
did
yeah,
you-
he'd already kind of messed up his face, so he was already sort of, and then he got the cancer, and then his voice, and then whatever. But now, he was in Maverick. Like he's coming back in the capacity he can, and we're all glad to see it. He looks,
Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed. Yeah.
not
I
dead.
love a Val Kilmer, but
But
I
if
do
we're
not know
thinking-
what he was in. Just you?
I was gonna say Colin Farrell and Val Kilmer before
But,
Kiss
like,
Kiss
in the
Bang Bang,
early
so that's before
2000s.
2005.
Yeah. Colin Farrell's secretly in Tombstone. I don't fucking know.
Is Phone Booth an historical drama?
Maybe he's wrong.
You know what, Tracy? I would have.
We need a hint.
Been a teenager.
I did. I said it came out before Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. It's Val Kilmer and Colin Farrell. It is a historical drama. Sorry, who directed this movie?
Honestly, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang came out when I was 17. I'm not gonna get this, guys.
What was?
Because I don't remember early Colin Farrell. To me, Colin Farrell was like, yeah.
What?
No,
It's directed by Oliver Stone.
What? No, listening.
Val
I
Kilmer's
About Oliver
in
Stone.
JFK.
les liaisons dangereuses. They had sex.
No, hang on. I would know if that was the case.
I'm never gonna get this. So if Leah, you're never gonna get this, go ahead, Tracy.
All right, it stars Colin Farrell, Anthony Hopkins, Rosario Dawson, Angelina Jolie. What other names are you gonna recognize?
Is this a movie about
Not even a
cocaine or
historical
drugs?
drama.
It is not.
Oh.
It is Oliver Stone's Alexander, where he played Alexander the
Oh.
Great. Yes.
Movie was awful.
Yes,
bad.
I know.
You saw
I
it.
also said I hated this movie.
Also,
Okay, I saw
Oliver
that
Stone is awful.
I saw that in the theater with my dad, and the movie itself is beautiful. It's like, I mean, it's like a trash heap, obviously, but like cinematography is like spectacular. It's gorgeous until the one scene where Alexander gets like, he's like kind of dying, so he looks up, and then everything gets like weirdly technicolor. And I remember leaning over to my dad and just being like, "Oh, they were doing so well," and then we were trying not to cackle in the theater. So it was just like,
No, I hated every minute of that movie.
Alexander is literally the one previous movie from Kiss Kiss Bang Bang on Val Kilmer's IMDb.
Yeah.
Wow.
dude, I didn't
Well,
even
because
Honestly, I would have just remembered that as like Angelina and Colin Farrell. I wouldn't have known.
Right.
Val
Wait.
in it.
well, apparently
They-
he had gained a bunch of weight to play his character in Alexander, and then had to lose a bunch of weight to be in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Yeah.
Wait, and Colin Farrell was Alexander,
Yeah.
an Irishman
Ian Giordano
playing
like
playing
blowing it up, right?
the
Yeah.
no, but
I'm
just
sorry, who?
playing.
Giordano.
I was afraid that's what you said.
Angelina Jolie played his mother, and she is younger than he is.
Yeah, but Giordano was the boyfriend. No? Am I making
But
that up?
also,
Yeah.
I just
Oh,
as one of like the first most famous people creating an empire and colonizing other people, just
To
to
have a-
cast an Irishman to do that is that's Oliver Stone. That's Oliver Stone.
Yeah.
That's Oliver Stone balls. It's like I don't know what I'm
Yeah.
doing, but I'm doing it a
Giordano
lot.
was the boyfriend. I am correct. You're crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He wears
So-
so much eyeliner, even I feel uncomfortable, and I'm like a KVD girl. So
All right. So Jess and Leah, you're lucky.
Anyway.
I
Are
had
we?
made up extra questions. So I have
Oh my God.
I have one more bonus question I can ask. Okay. This is about Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Right?
Oh, okay.
When protecting herself, Harmony is seen carrying a bat with the words Wonder Girl carved into it. This is an homage to what movie?
Wonder Woman.
It is a 1980s movie starring Robert Redford.
Bush
Oh, yeah,
Cassidy.
I'll get this. Was I a twinkle in someone's eye? What?
Yes,
The
you are.
Warriors.
What just smother you in your sleep?
Robert Redford is almost definitely not in the Warriors unless he's one of the baseball guys. I didn't get a good look at this.
The way we were? I don't know.
The one with
What do I
the
kn-
lady that
All
played
the
I don't know
President's
anything
Men.
about what Robert Redford did in the 80s. Was it like the shipping news? Was he in that? That seems like something he'd be in. The Prince of Tides. No, that's somebody else.
I'm gonna be honest.
Sneakers.
I probably can't name anything Robert Redford in it.
Sneakers, Captain America, Winter Soldier.
When you
Spy
told me,
Game.
I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. But I'm not gonna do
Spy
that.
game.
I'm just naming Robert Redford movies that I know of, and Butch
The Horse
Cassidy
Whisperer.
was already said. Yeah.
Two can play this game.
I can't. No,
This is my last question, guys. The movie is called The Natural, and in that movie, his bat, because it's a baseball movie, he calls Wonder Boy.
I
Mm.
can't believe I didn't even think to try the Wonder Boys, despite that not
Wonder
being
Boy.
a 1980s movie.
What
Or
is
maybe
the
having Robert
secret
Redford
of
in it.
your power?
Power. Thank you, Tracy.
I'm sorry. Despite my hate of Lord of the Rings, that music video that clearly is Lord of the Rings inspired is great.
Like
It's
like,
really good.
among like I like Lord of the Rings, but also I like metal that was inspired by Lord of the Rings. And I think that like you can get one without the other. You don't need both.
You don't need both, but it is glorious. It is glorious. Okay, that was a Christmas quiz. I guess you know
Yay!
Leah and Jess are gonna just have to hold their trophy together into the next year.
It's a shot of me and Jess holding the trophy cup, and we both have one handle and we're tugging on it.
Yes, don't look, it's mine. No, it's mine. It's mine.
One
I
day
like
I'll win this trophy.
One day.
Stop staring.
I guess we could start talking about In Bruges now because I mean we're halfway there.
Fucking weird movie that I enjoyed.
Yeah. I will say at the end of this movie, I was like, oh yeah, this movie is real depressing. Okay. I don't
Very.
know. For some reason in my brain, like I knew it wasn't a happy movie, but I thought it was more on the level, like the higher comedy level, like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang was, but it really wasn't.
And yet
But I guess
so
that's the
funny.
European British mentality for you.
Mm.
Yes.
I think my first
I
note
don't think
was
I
just, is
just
this Kiss Kiss Bang Bang but with less talking? Yes, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
But it was a
but
Sub-Zero great.
but you said it was European with less talking. I think specifically it is so committedly Irish and Catholic that like most of Europe is not Catholic. So like anyway, I just like the amount of depressing it is because it is about guilt and everybody feeling more guilty than they need to and just like being unable to deal with anything that they've ever done and they're all fucking terrible people. Anyway, I just yeah.
As a person of Jewish
I
heritage, I loved this.
I have to say, you said people are feeling more guilty than they should. I
Yeah.
disagree.
Fuck
Yeah,
them
agreed about
kids. Fuck them.
I feel like they should. I feel like the guilt level is at the right level in this movie. That's also one of the reasons why it's so depressing. The guilt
Yeah,
level
I
is correct.
you can rationalize the priest, but the tiny child who's praying, like, yeah.
no. What about
What if
Gleeson?
that child was a
Is
man?
he's like I'm go like this child murderer? I am going to die for because that's the right thing to do. Like that's not rational. That doesn't
Yeah,
make
but that's
sense.
not guilt based.
It's
Also,
entirely guilt based.
It's a weird martyrdom thing based.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily guilt based.
I
Yeah.
No,
also
because if you have guilt and you martyr yourself, then you absolve yourself of guilt. No, anyway. Sorry. Everybody else should talk about this movie before me because I'm just gonna go.
the minute I found out that was his first hit, I'm like, oh, now I get it. Like, A,
Yeah.
it was sloppy. B, why'd you shoot him 20 times? No wonder you fucking shot a kid in the head. Like, I was, and
You
then
didn't
I
notice
all
the kid on the way in?
into place. Because if you're gonna be an assassin, like, yeah, you might be like, shit, I killed a kid, but like, really, are you gonna think about it that much? But no, I was like, oh, because I'd never seen this movie. I was like,
Yeah. No. Leah was asking kind of a similar thing, and I was like, well, if you're hiring somebody to like shoot a priest, you're not going to get like the biggest brains in the world, right?
Ah.
Like you're. you-
Yeah,
This gets
he's such a fuck up.
exactly, and
He's not gonna last long.
so connected to Robert Downey Jr. in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, where they're just like he is also such a fuck up. He can't even rob a store to get the right like he's on the phone in the cell phone. Oh, okay, sorry. Before we entirely move off of Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, they talk about their crimes so much on cell phones, which is another thing that ages
Yeah.
in 2005.
Are you
Are you talking about? Have you seen those cell phones?
Before that,
The part where he turns the phone around and be like, "Have you seen this woman?" And it's like the tiniest screen.
Right, but the thing is that
Pixelated.
like this is before anything like there is no, like barely any encryption. This is like season 1 of the Wire era where they're just like, yeah, I murdered that person.
Yeah.
What do you want to do about that? Like I peed on her. Anyway.
This is 10 years after Pulp Fiction, which already knew that.
Exactly.
I'm hanging up the phone. Prank caller.
Yeah, exactly. And 15 years, almost 15 years. Anyway, the point is that if you're gonna like, hey, we gotta kill this priest, you're gonna get some fucking dum-dums. And you're gonna get Colin Farrell, who like is just like, well, I just want to go down to the pub and maybe we'll hang out for 18 hours. We'll lay low for 18 hours and then probably this whole thing will blow over. That was his initial idea.
I was gonna say, if someone puts a hit out on a priest, Like, the priest deserves to die, yes?
Especially
I'm not saying he didn't deserve to die. What I'm saying is, how do you get who do you get to actually pull the trigger? And it's not going to be somebody who has like a lot of prospects for their future.
I looked this up.
I wonder if Gleeson's character thought it would be so easy, why it would be a training hit for Colin Farrell's character. Be like, oh, we know the priest isn't going to be armed.
he's gonna be tiny box where he will open a little like door for you.
And
All
this
you
is
have
why
to do is not fuck this up.
And this is why Gleeson's character was so horrified, because he essentially thought this was going to be a no-brainer, and it turned into
a no-brainer.
Priest and,
Sorry.
And then he like ultimately sacrificed himself. They all died.
Oh, good. So here's me being an obnoxious person. We're like 2 minutes into talking about this movie. We're all already talking about the interiority of the characters, unlike Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. So it's like, it's such a good movie.
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang has delightful exteriority of the characters.
Exactly. I totally agree. I'm just saying that In Bruges is a good movie.
We watched them both the same night for the first time, and it was like, if we'd watched them in the other order, I probably would have hated them both. But we watched In Bruges first, and then Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. So it's like, okay.
It was a good order to do
it.
Yeah, In Bruges and then Kiss Kiss. Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Yeah, we keep interrupting you.
Go ahead.
Yes, Leah is about to burst. So yes,
I have thoughts. No. So I looked this up because I assumed that the killing the priest was a pedophilia thing, but in fact, in a deleted scene, it is revealed that the priest was opposed to a land deal that Harry wanted to make, and that's why they had him killed in the first place.
Oh.
I think is such a delightful detail that doesn't get put into the movie. That
changes the whole.
Cat thinks it's brilliant.
That's even better. Like, no fucking wonder Harry.
Well, they're all, like Mike said, they're all pieces of shit in this movie.
Well, but like again, like even whatever the deservedness is. Like, and you're right, it's a deleted scene, but like Colin Farrell explicitly says, I'm gonna kill somebody for money. It's not for any reason. Like, he was not convinced that this priest deserved it. He was like, I'm gonna give you money and you're gonna kill this priest, and that's what Colin Farrell accepted. And he was just like, there was like, whether or not like Colin Farrell was not interested in why this priest needed to die.
Girls and hired hitmen. Like, I'm sure some of them may, but like not really. It's money for hire. You kill?
Exactly. Well, also the dumbest ones, right? Like
your jobs. If you're new, you whack a priest badly and end up in.
Like actors and musicians, a huge majority of them, or a huge number of them, are going to only ever have one job, maybe two.
Right.
And then there's everybody else. But you don't think about the masses of people who must try it once and then opt out.
Yeah.
Maybe, hopefully not masses of people if we're talking hitmen. I was thinking more about musicians.
Yes.
Yeah, hopefully it's a smaller. Well, I mean, a lot of the ones that only have one are also in prison, so.
Yeah, they usually get caught, leave behind some DNA in the wrong way, and then you're like, whoa.
Well, and that's the whole idea, right? Is that they're the deniable asset, and they go to prison, and because they didn't know what they didn't know enough to ask the questions to not get on the hook, and then the cops are like, oh, this person was killed by this person. That's great. It wasn't that somebody was like, hey, we'll give you $10,000 if you do it, and then when they're in prison, they're like, yeah, we're not going to give you $10,000.
Yeah, because you can't do anything about that, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. You're a dummy. Why did you do this for us, you dummy? Which is what Colin Farrell is.
He's very sweet and he's very pretty, but yeah.
Well, what? Okay, so among other things, we talked about how much Robert Downey Jr. gets his ass kicked in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, whereas Colin Farrell wins every fight that he's ever in, and yet still he's just like the winning fights is actually the worst thing for him, because that's what brings him back to Bruges at the end, right? Yeah. Like, he kicked the ass of that Canadian
Canadian.
guy.
The Canadian.
I love that detail so much.
is-
How did they find them on that train?
Fantastic.
Look-
It's not a big town.
Leah, like I think we were just past the scene in the restaurant, and was like on IMDb and was like, "Oh, he's credited as the Canadian.
Yeah.
That's interesting." And
Fuck,
I
that's
was like, "Oh, that comes up later. Don't worry."
I've seen In Bruges. Okay, you all know how horrible my memory is, except for maybe like sets in a movie. That's what I tend to remember. Is like it was that movie with the incredible piano in the living room. But in Bruges, what I remembered was the last shot of him falling, which I assumed was the opener to the movie. Like I assumed that's when the chaos started. So I spent a lot of the movie very confused. Like I do not remember this at all.
You were expecting Reservoir Dogs and you got a linear storyline.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's confusing.
But also, how crazy was it that he's dropping the change he couldn't get rid of at the beginning
What a
of
great callback.
the
God.
tower? Because he's like, I need to get rid of it. It's $4.90. Can you let me in? And it's like, no, it's £5. And he's got all this change in his pocket, and he drops it so that nobody gets hurt
Yeah.
when he jumps.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
It's like they thought about it and then they went back to the beginning and they checked. Just a little.
So another thing. Sorry, I said I was gonna let everybody talk, but I don't know. I want to talk about this fucking movie. This is a great movie.
You've been talking
But
movie for like as long as it's been out, basically. So
yeah.
he finally did
So and this is not. I'm gonna describe a scene that I really like in about the Canadian in in Bruges, but this is not one is better, one is worse. Is that it's just a difference in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Obviously, Robert Downey Jr. is a motorman. He knows that he can talk his way out of trouble. Whereas Colin Farrell is kind of the opposite, where like he knows he can fight his way into trouble, but like when he starts talking, he's always gonna fuck it up, right? Like,
Yeah.
and so in the restaurant, the Canadian, which we learn later he's a Canadian, but he starts mouthing off, and there is a wonderful scene where Colin Farrell's just like, and it's all in his face where he's like, I shouldn't get involved. Maybe I should get involved. Maybe I shouldn't get involved. No, I'm going to get involved. And then he stands up and he beats the shit out of this guy. But like, it's all without any dialogue. Whereas the Robert Downey Jr. character, among
It's all
other things,
dialogue.
would be narrating that entire internal discussion about like, should I beat the shit out of this guy? It's like very similar to the
Sherlock
early
Holmes.
thing where well no, but also just when his character in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang sees the dude lifting the skirt of the girl. It's like, oh, this guy is a creeper. Turns out he was kind of with her, maybe a boyfriend. Anyway, she was whatever. The point was, you hear all of those thoughts going through his head because it's voiced over. Whereas in Bruges, it's like it's just on his face, and that's.
But
that's
also,
me, and I
like,
it.
Sullen teenagers, right? Robert Downey can't stop mouthing off, and Colin Farrell can't stop like kicking things.
Yeah,
I
they're
will
they're
say
both incapable of actually like dealing with their emotions, but they
Yeah.
deal. Their weird outlets are in different directions.
like I know he's an idiot and whatever, and he's a murderer, but I kind of like Colin Farrell's character in this movie. Like I kind of like him, right? But even in that scene, I was just like, the dude's right. Your girlfriend's disgusting. Why is she smoking in the restaurant? Get the fuck out. Like,
They are in the
I
smoking
know,
section.
I know it's the smoking
Sarah,
section, and I understand that. But
Yeah,
like,
it's gross. I agree, but you're in the smoking section.
but like, even
The Canadians
the
in the
way,
wrong.
Going directly
even
on
the
somebody
way
else.
she like sits there and
Yeah.
lights a cigarette. Like I see her do it, and usually in like
Sexy.
movies, they manage to make it still look cool. But to me, even that scene, I'm like, oh, that looks gross.
Yeah, it
Well,
is. But
I think
Like,
it's intended to be. I think it's
Sexy.
supposed to be gross. I think it's
Yeah.
supposed to
Also,
gross.
he's sitting there in the smoking section and he is staring at her and she doesn't actually know why. He's like giving her like she probably gets stared at a lot because she's fucking beautiful and this
is
like
she? I
three
don't know.
people.
I spent the half the movie going like, she's really not that pretty, guys. That's what
oh,
I kept thinking.
hard disagree.
Oh, no,
She
she's
does not-
fine.
she
Go
doesn't-
Joss.
But she is very attractive. But also, yeah, this guy is just fucking staring at her, and like I would blow smoke in his face too. He's sitting in the fucking smoking section and he's being rude by staring at her.
But also, I hate to break it, like, you're in Europe in a
Yeah.
smoking section. Like, man, when I went to Europe and I was a smoker at the time, fucking you can buy smokes in machines. Like,
But again, it's like he's just being an asshole too. Like everybody's
Yeah,
an
everybody's
asshole
being an
in this
asshole.
movie.
I will agree. Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah,
he's just being an
everybody in the
asshole.
movie's terrible.
All Colin Farrell had to do is like, yeah, this asshole is sitting in the smoking section complaining about being
deserved to
having
get
smoke
punched.
on him. I don't need to hit him.
yeah,
But
no.
he does.
Mhm.
like,
Unhit.
You don't need to knock out the woman who comes at you with a bottle either, but you do.
That I
Deadly
kind of
weapon,
agreed
I
with.
know.
I'm sorry.
that's a
Like,
deadly weapon.
I
That's a
understand
deadly
not
weapon.
hitting a woman, but if somebody comes at you with an object,
With a bottle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going down. He should have never started that. He should have
He should
walked
have.
away.
yes.
But then if someone comes at you with a bottle, no, man. You blast him no matter the
Like
depth.
she swung at him to take him the fuck out, and she was like, "It's a bottle." And even though, like the scene before, he already had a discussion about somebody swinging a bottle, who was
Yes.
like the ice cream man or something.
Mike is so happy.
Yes.
That was but like
I just
yeah, no, I don't-
yeah.
the second that in Bruges we might even be talking about in Bruges on your podcast, that's all. I was so happy already, and then when it did happen, now it's actually happening right now. I can't stop being happy. I
Stop
apologize.
people. Can I mention the 4 holiday things? By the way, this was the worst movie set in Christmas. I will say, I
Disagree.
wouldn't have known because they mentioned briefly Christmas twice. Then there was carols in the back, and then Colin Farrell, while he's dying, at the end mentions it. But I will say, Bruges must be stunning at Christmas.
Yeah.
It was a real letdown.
Oh, yeah.
They really didn't
No,
film
but-
this at Christmas.
Here's
Well,
the
actually-
thing that you're
Well,
missing
Harry's
about
family.
the Christmas
Yeah.
is that they cannot separate because it's Christmas. Is that if it wasn't
If it
Christmas,
wasn't Christmas,
they could have
there would be
gone
two
to two
rooms.
separate hotel rooms,
but what?
and the movie would have been very
Yeah.
different.
Yes.
What self-respecting medieval fairy tale town doesn't decorate for motherfucking Christmas in Europe?
We could have put some Christmas trees in the
Well,
back.
because they probably filmed it in
There
the
are
summer,
Christmas
Tree in the
lights
lobby.
everywhere.
and it was
Hold on.
too expensive.
It's a very
I
easy
did
movie.
check the trivia for that exact thing.
Yeah.
And apparently, so they knew they were going to film there, but they were filming in like March or something. And they actually told stores and restaurants and stuff to keep up holiday decorations longer than usual. So if you look in the background, like some of the stores and whatever have little decorations,
Mhm.
or they'll have like a tiny Christmas tree with lights on it.
Yeah.
But it's not like the town isn't like overly done.
It's almost like Christmas is happening, but they don't feel the need to get
To focus
into
on
your
it.
entire mouth and up your nostrils and then tell you all about
Yes,
it
but
forever and ever.
again, if you went to Bruges at Christmas, there'd be fucking Christmas markets. There'd be trees
Have
everywhere.
you been to Bruges?
No, but
I have actually not at Christmas, but there's plenty of
Oh, wow.
decoration. that
they would for
make
sure. It's a medieval town. It's gonna look like Christmas.
No. I think the problem is that here's the thing: is that hell, which is the point of this movie, is it's in Bruges without Christmas decorations for you two.
It should have.
Really? It's sorry. I thought Bruges was purgatory, not hell.
Well, honestly, it should have way more Christmas decorations because when it looks like Christmas grew up on your town, you probably are in some sort of purgatory dimension.
Oh, Oh
How I
no,
know I was downtown today.
it's only purgatory for Leah. If Leah went to Bruges during Christmas time, it would be like deck to deck, like Santa's. You would be tripping over Santa's. If Jess went to Bruges, it would be like, well, it's at Christmas time. I don't know.
What would mine be?
Yeah. So can I just have one quick aside? I'm like on the mid-level of the like how much Christmas I can handle, like, you know, where my festive spirit is, but never ever go to the dentist on the 2nd of December because then you'll be trapped in a chair while somebody pokes you and listen to Christmas carols for 40 minutes, and then you're going to die a horrible, gurgling, choking death.
Yeah.
I don't actually like Christmas music, so I agree.
Hideous.
But
I
when
love Christmas music.
European Christmas market, I want to
Sure, sign of the
experience
deranged
that.
You just like mulled wine. Anyway,
I do love mulled wine. It's amazing. I want to walk around and buy stupid ornaments, but I don't want to hear carolers.
No, horrible.
Ugh.
If I hear Santa Baby one more time, like I can't. But
Jess,
no, but still
embrace
crazy.
Saturnalia.
What?
Embrace it.
Yeah, the pagan holiday is fine, but it doesn't involve stuff like Santa Baby.
I also kind of
Yeah.
want
So many
like
carols.
where they beat you with sticks with Krampus style, like that. Like I love that
That'd
celebration.
be fun.
Yes, we're
What's
recording.
the,
this.
which
I don't
country
know
has
if
the cat
that's-
that kills you?
My
and
God,
beats you if you don't
paint
have nice
sticks
enough
in
clothes?
there, shots.
I want
Yes.
that
Click
to
on
beat
paint
you with a
sticks.
stick.
I want to do the Iceland thing where on is it Christmas Eve everybody gets books and pajamas and then they just sit quietly amongst their family and don't speak to each other and read their new books.
Oh, I'm into that. I'm definitely
Yes.
into that idea.
I see.
Tradition I feel we should embrace, but
I'm
movie is not
I'm going
good.
to propose a new Christmas tradition, which is on the day after Christmas, everybody goes out and watches Nosferatu.
Agreed.
All right.
Agreed. Down for it. Yes.
Yes. Anyway, but yes, it's kind of insane that a movie that is like the whole premise is shaped by the fact that they can't get separate hotel rooms because it's Christmas only mentions it 4 times. Well,
Not even 3 times,
times.
and once is
there's
music.
a carol, and then there's the we can only get 1 hotel room. There's what's the second one? I don't remember.
I forget.
There's the carol, and then there's the
At the
there
end.
are presents under the Christmas tree.
No, they're the hotel owner, co-owner is decorating a Christmas tree.
Oh yes, they look at her through a
I'm
Christmas
sorry,
tree.
four-
Yes.
Yeah.
There's definitely one window
Marie, I think.
display, I think, as
Yeah,
well.
Marie.
And then also, I'm pretty sure that they're sitting at least around the fireplace in a decidedly festive fashion when Rafe Fiennes answers the phone and then hangs up the phone. Can we talk about this?
That's true. There is a Christmas.
Leah really needs to talk about the phone because it's amazing and wonderful, and Leah is the correct person
What is
to
it?
talk about the phone.
I was
You're an
hoping-
inanimate object? I like it, yeah.
It's an inanimate fucking object, and then you're an inanimate fucking object to his wife, and then later you have to apologize and said, "I'm sorry, I called you an inanimate fucking object."
He's such a good actor.
Oh my god! And he picks up what's left of the phone and then beats that to little pieces on his desk, and it was so, and it comes right after that, like highly like pensive and like introspective sequence of one of the several of them, and it just is such a welcome tone shift. It's exactly the comic relief you need, and then also it's so over the top, and I certainly did not know the first time I watched this that Ray Fiennes was the voice on the other end of the phone. I was just like, that's vaguely familiar
He shows up-
I'm not good
he's
at
on
voices.
screen.
Credit that I have. I should have.
It's so satisfying and it's so funny. And I definitely stopped for extended laughter on my end, and then we hit the backup so I could watch again.
Or I was just gonna say about his character, horrible human being, but I do love that he stuck to his guns and blew his brains out after
Yeah.
he
Yes.
He's the moral compass of the movie.
No, he's not.
That was so good.
That was the
How-
best.
how not-
Like all these motherfuckers are all dying because he killed the
Oh.
child quotation
Like-
marks in
Well,
his
yeah, it's his fault because he ordered the
Right
hit. That's
before,
true.
I was like, oh no, school uniform. Oh shit.
yeah. That was the best. Love it.
So good.
Yeah, he got done dirty.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
Did he?
Fiennes?
Deserved it.
No. The
Oh, the-
oh god, what's his
The
name?
little person.
I mean,
Yes.
Person, yes.
Hank? No.
Jimmy.
Oh,
Jimmy.
the most racist
Little person.
a little person.
That was the ketamine and the cocaine talking, Mike.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
He says, are you American? Yeah, don't hold it against me. Well, I won't unless you say something incredibly crass or did he say crass or
it's
racist
so good.
or crass or loud or whatever?
Louder crass.
Yeah, and then and also it's just like when later he's like, oh yeah, there's gonna be a war between the whites and the blacks. He's like, oh god, did I say that thing again? It's like this is a common thing that he is. Like it's in his brain. Yeah. He just knows not to talk about it when he's not taking drugs. Like he is a terrible person, which is part of the justification for it's like actually it's okay that he gets shot. But no, it's just it's a good movie.
Poor Jamie.
Anybody though, he should kind of be an asshole. The world treats little people awful. So
and that was so great. Where it's like, look, right? Like they want to be referred to as dwarfs, and then there's assholes like me that keep referring to them as midgets, right? Like it's just like Colin Farrell is like flailing at straws, which a little bit is like the Patton Oswalt joke about there's people who know the right words and there's people whose heart is in the right place. I don't think Colin Farrell's in either of those camps, but like it's like there's
the fact
there's
that
like
he makes any motion towards his heart being in the right place is in and of itself funny.
Right.
Such terrible people.
Exactly,
so
and that's funny about
based
that.
On a feeling that is correct is very
exactly. But it's like, oh yeah, we can excuse the grandpa's very progressive, but just isn't keeping up with like the current lingo versus the right wing fascist asshole who is keeping up with the lingo but pushing the horrible agenda, and then there is Colin Farrell, who is just like, I'm not going to get laid if I can't express sympathy for the downtrodden.
Yeah. He's a whole teenager. I have never taken a teenager on a European holiday, but I have to imagine just that, like, I'm in Bruges, I can't go to the pub, what do you mean? And he's just like, he's pouting.
He's whining the whole time.
The scene in the church where he's shuffling his feet and he's kicking the big pew thing, and he, oh man, I read
he's so obnoxious.
I wrote it down in the Guardian. They describe him as resentfully mooching about, which I thought was so accurate.
That's a proper phrase, yes.
But yeah, he's pure, like, he's just like, he has no governors. He's gonna die if he can't get laid and find some cocaine. And,
I will say that, like, I find the movie presents Bruges very much in his eye, right? Because like the visuals of the city, they don't show nice vistas. They don't show how beautiful things are and what they don't make the place look like a fairy tale. And then he's a grumpy child complaining about this fairy tale place. They do make the place look kind of like damp and boring, to be honest. And
I want to go so badly.
Half the time I was just like, I agree with him. What are you people talking about?
But he's on his own, and then they actually frame it very differently. So you see, But also, it's very funny because, yes, he does appear like a teenager most of the time, but also it makes it much funnier when you find out that Brendan Gleeson was the one who like brought him in. So they obviously have a pre-existing relationship, except that Colin Farrell like infantilizes himself, right?
Yes.
Like you expect that it would be like the older guy who brought him in would be the one that it was, and it's like, no, he's just being like, hey, we're on a job, we're doing a thing. He's being like totally normal. You have no idea they have a previous relationship other than like they both work for Harry, and then it's like, oh no, like he should have been fucking cracking the whip on this dumbass teenager being a dumbass, right?
A while ago, yeah.
Okay, well, Colin Farrell just like did it all to himself.
Yeah.
Like he could have just been an adult, but like, no.
Yeah. Oh, I agree with him. I'm not defending him at all.
He was the one who like shifted the balance of power, so the guy was just like, I have to, like, why do I have to wrangle this idiot kitten? Like, I thought we were professionals here. Well,
and like
anyway, he doesn't do it to him. He like has it done to him, and it's just like, why?
Yeah.
teenager. What is happening? Like, yeah, it's an interesting play on that dynamic because it could have been very different.
Mhm.
And, like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting that Kiss Kiss Bang Bang has the grouchy Val Kilmer and then the gormless Robert Downey Jr., where this one has the grouchy Colin Farrell, but Brendan Gleeson is not quite gormless, but he's like, I am having a nice time.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want. I am going to read my book.
I'm making the best of this situation like a grown man. You can do whatever you want as long as you don't fuck it up for both of us.
Yeah.
Immediately. It's like, what is the worst trouble I could get into given half an hour of freedom in Bruges?
Right. Yeah.
Well, I feel like the difference is that Val Kilmer is like, you know what, Harry, do what you want. I'm gonna go. You're an adult. Do what you want. And then Harry keeps doing something stupid. Whereas in Bruges, Ken's like, look, we're gonna hang out together. This is what we're gonna be told to do. And then he just gets sick of him, but also gives him rules of what to do when he leaves. So he is treating him as like a kid because that's how he's been acting.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's the difference. Whereas I'm like in Kiss Kiss, like despite, Gabe Harry believing that Harry is an adult and can take care of himself, he's just proven wrong. Whereas in Bruges, Ken's like, no, you are not an adult. I will give you rules, but then you still fuck it up anyways.
In Harry's defense, that whole body in the shower thing would have fucked everybody up.
Yes.
That was not him being an idiot. That was, well, I mean, he was not an idiot in response, but that wasn't his fault. And I think Perry.
Yeah.
Really radically
around the lake showing up in your shower is like,
yeah.
Outside.
Like I feel like he had an appropriate reaction, to be honest. Not the peeing on her part, but just to like total shock and not realizing what I'm in the middle of doing.
I know a grown up. I should call him right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yes, that is a hand up. I need a grown up moment, and he found a grown up. Good job.
Real quick, how many people are calling Alex if that happens? My hand is up. Alex, you're the grown up.
Jess claims she only keeps me around because I know how to dispose of a body, so she's definitely on.
Oh man, I would call Alex. He knows.
I don't know. According to all the YouTube videos, you cover everything in Coke and they dissolve, so it's fine.
That's in Bruges.
That's in Bruges.
But also, can I just ask, like, do people just casually carry bodies and like drop them out of windows? Like, there's so many people around. I know they had to pretend to make out or whatever they were doing.
You're not supposed to suck.
But I was like, guys, you're walking down like a hotel hallway with a body that's not even well concealed. This isn't going well.
Well,
but they managed.
They didn't have this like the old surveillance state at the time.
Yeah, it's
now
true.
That would never fly.
That would never fly. Yeah,
you have a golf bag and anyway, whatever. It's a whole mess.
I feel like that's a social engineering thing, right? Like if you do that and it's clearly a body, but you have like a clipboard and a walkie-talkie. Yeah. Good again.
And like, you know what not to do? We don't chop it up and put it into suitcases that we buy down the street because someone's watching us. Like all those cameras.
They're gonna leak.
Yeah. And you can't buy it on a credit card. You have to pay cash.
No. The point is, don't go to McDonald's after.
Anyway. Oh man.
So many things.
Yeah, like both of these movies basically exist in a universe without police, except when the plot needs them. Yeah.
Yeah. Good point.
I genuinely think that because there weren't cameras in the like in the confessional, like the and in 2008, I think, and I don't know if the movie is exactly set in 2008 because there are no cell phones in Bruges, whereas there are in 2005.
Yeah.
In Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, so, maybe they're just not using cell phones because of the thing, or maybe it's set earlier. It's not clear.
On
but
the run, it's a bad time to use a cell phone. So
exactly. But what I'm saying is that like I think that there is enough thing where like there's heat, but like if everybody is cool, and everybody is chill, and there hadn't been a child killed,
Yeah.
it might have blown over.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah.
Well, Jess was asking before about like how did they know that they were on that train, whatever. It's because apparently Bruges is like that one square and 3 streets, right? So like if somebody had just put a damn camera there, this would have been a very different.
Leah was looking up, populations of different towns and stuff.
I
Because
was young when I
Europe's
was
weird.
big.
The
Like-
greater Bruges area is like 250,000 people, but
Right. Like the little medieval town part, but also like not everyone like that square, everyone was in that square at all times. Although I guess tourists. Yeah, it's a little bit
Yeah,
hilarious. Not
it's like
yeah,
if you went to get lost in Venice and you stayed in the old town, you're like, okay, everybody can track you because
Yeah.
it's very tiny.
yeah,
only so many ways you can go, and
yeah.
And
There's
especially since you're
120,000 people in Bruges proper.
right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I feel like also because the towns are so small, they can pick out who is the new person. And they're gonna be like, even if it's subconscious and they're not even tracking, you'd be like, hey, that's the guy I saw yesterday. Hey, that's the guy I saw at the hotel.
That's probably
or they're like, hey,
Christmas
tour-
market square, right? Because
Yeah.
they need to be obvious who doesn't belong, so that
yeah, exactly. Like two
the
tourists had a
Franken I can be
fight.
like that guy. Like
Yeah, two international tourists had a fight.
Yeah.
This is not the first time this has ever happened, right?
Yeah.
So we're like, hey, it sounded like he was Irish, is what the Canadian said. So anytime you sell a ticket to an Irishman or like whatever, you know, we're just gonna check.
And you know that like tower guy's a narc, right? Hey, did you deal with
Yeah.
Richmond?
Oh,
Let me tell
Okay.
you.
I've been thinking about the tower. So I was looking it up because I was like, okay, is the tower some kind of like old, because it's old, it's an old medieval town, right? They're talking about it, they're talking about like it predates like even the like Protestant Reformation and stuff like that. So like they're all, dealing with Catholic guilt, and is this tower related to Catholic guilt? No, it was entirely built as a civil thing for like tax collection, for like being
municipal building. It was
it was a municipal building. It was a
there.
government building, and so among other things, it makes so much sense that this dude was just like, no. This is how our like government runs. Is like we don't give 10-cent like discounts to fucking assholes. But
Not an ambassador for the tourism in the city. He's like the DMV guy.
Exactly. No. It's so good. It's like no. But imagine if the DMV became a tourist attraction, but it's also still a DMV, and then you're like 2/3 of the people that are coming through are like, or even like.
Wasn't that
anyway,
an Olivia Rodrigo music video? Anyway, yeah.
You would be better
Driver's license.
able.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't get that one.
Apparently we're all real old and we're all just like, what are you talking about?
Oh dear. Okay. Well, anyway. That's fascinating though.
She has stickers on her tongue, right? That's
yeah. When they decided to go up the tower so it was quiet, I was like, I get where this is going and I get why they're doing that, but also I had like a hilarious flashback to the summer I spent in Italy where I went up one clock tower one time in San Gimignano, and I went up there at like it was like I don't know, like 11:30-ish. We started going up those stairs.
AM or PM?
Take that through 11 a.m. 11:30 a.m. And then we stood looking over a beautiful view of Tuscany as the bell rang 5 feet from our ears.
Oh my God.
And sometimes I hear a church bell and I still shudder.
surprised.
Like, your PTSD
Now-
kicks in. Yeah.
Were you
Tourists, they probably thought it was hysterical, and I was just like, we are so stupid. Like, we did this to ourselves, but also, anyway, I have like light PSD about clock towers.
but you were
Watch a lot.
very pleasant but very fat American tourist, were you?
No, we were not a herd of elephants. We were very
They-
fit.
they-
We got into family fashion, and then everything was real loud. That throw at the line about the like, oh, an American had a heart attack. I like,
Yes.
Yeah.
I died.
I was
I
kind
was
of like,
like,
I lost my shit. I was like, oh, that shouldn't be funny, but no,
it was
Full
totally
circle.
funny.
Yeah.
That they should have never tried climbing that. Like that's just not.
You know where else it would have been quiet is in one of the many alcoves in the main alcoves. Is it the
What a
word?
great character.
Again, that set up for a joke where it's like, that dude said alcoves to you too, right? He's on about the like it doesn't matter that they're in a fight. It's
That's
this
with an
moment of
alcove.
The
So-
same
so-
joke repeats through multiple characters.
Yeah,
Is
so
like
it gets funnier every time.
it does. It's such a basic joke setup, and it works for me. A small amount of attention to detail goes so far in this film.
Yes.
Well, I think that in the movie it's so deliberate because we paused it when Ralph Fiennes appears on screen for the first time, and he's almost exactly
Rafe.
2/3 through the movie, so it's like exactly when Act 3 starts. If you were like, setting like a holes into a screenplay, right? Like if you were an inartless person and you just were like, when would Act 3 start? And it's like, they started Act 3 exactly now, which is when Ralph Fiennes is coming personally to solve the problem. And it's just like, and it's so good, but then also to retroactively see every single scene now that you know that the only reason they're in Bruges is because Ralph Fiennes thought it was beautiful, and so he was like, yeah, this fuck off idiot who I hired to kill a priest and he couldn't even fucking do that. We're gonna kill him, but like, it'd be nice if he saw like something nice before he died, but I don't know anything about him. So like instead of probably sending him to the Rippers in Dublin, which is what he would have wanted, like I sent him to in Bruges.
Yeah, he makes a comment. Why not the Bahamas?
Right.
Fine.
Great, fine.
Sorry.
Ralph Fiennes.
Not Ralph.
I know. I'm just being funny.
I looked it up on IMDb and then I got like word poisoned,
Yeah.
letter poisoned.
Letter poisoned.
Because I looked at the letters and I'm like, I know how those letters are pronounced. and then I didn't think about it any further than that.
I'm a
Which
linguist.
is-
I can confirm letter poisoning is a scientific phenomenon.
All right. Anyway, my point is that like it's so funny that this whole movie started as a like, oh, I want to be sympathetic, I want to be humane to this dude I'm just about to kill, and the only thing he thinks is like, oh my god, this is the worst possible place I could have ever been sent to. It's so
Absolutely.
funny.
I didn't mean to undercut your point, Mike, because it does.
No.
Absolutely feel when he's like, it's a fucking fairy tale town. How could he not? How could he not like it? It's and Brendan Gleeson has to be like, yeah, no, he likes it so much he fell to his knees and cried and said, I feel like I'm in a dream, but I'm awake. But it's very much the anger that people get when you tell them that you don't like Lord of the Rings or you've never seen the Goonies.
Yes. No, it's true. It is the exact same feelings because you think you're giving them a gift that they should appreciate.
Or
And when
you
it's
don't like
not
Christmas.
appreciated, you're just like, the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
I am doing you a favor. Why
Wrong.
don't you
What do you mean you've never seen this 9-hour quintrilogy? What do you mean you don't like Christmas?
Right. But imagine instead of like you just being like a person who like exists, instead you're a person who like orders other people killed. And so like you feel your version of reality is way more important and more real than other people's versions of reality, right?
Yeah.
Like if we disagree on like how good the Lord of the Rings movies are. That's it. That's all we disagree with. Instead of like,
Right.
no, but I kill people for a living. So if the people who don't agree with me continue to exist, I'll probably kill them later.
Yeah. Or at some point in time, an argument you'll be offended enough by an argument, you'll be like, well, that guy has to die. That would just be it. You know? Whereas I'm a good person, and when people don't like movies I like, I just tell them they're stupid and I walk away. It's fine. Well, no, I don't tell them they're stupid. I tell them they're wrong.
Mhm.
And I give them 10 reasons why they're wrong. And then I'm like, I don't care what you have to say anymore. And I walk away.
Yeah.
And they yell something at me about why I'm wrong. And I'm like, no, you're still wrong because of this. Yes. I'm not very nice. What can I say? No,
That's
that's
so
a
mean.
lie. I'm quite nice. Except when you say wrong things, then, you need to be corrected.
Exactly.
I'm a horrible person. It's fine.
Monster.
John, you've been super quiet today.
Oh,
I know that's a thing introverts hate being told.
Is he hungover?
Yep.
well, a little bit, yeah.
Um,
Work party last night.
How long have you been in
Went
LA?
late. I don't remember getting home.
oh no.
Sean's a classic known introvert.
Yes. Sounds like me.
Yeah. What's that? Wait, what time did
You
it
got home
wasn't
at,
that late?
you got home at 10, but I assume it was, but you guys started at noon, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'll
Did-
explain it.
Did I leave the same time as you, Alex? I don't remember.
I walked you home.
Oh, thank you. Did you? Okay. Did we get belly busters?
Yes.
Okay.
Belly busters, and then I walked your ass home and got my Uber from your apartment.
Thank you. I don't remember.
I
God.
suspect it's true. Yeah, so
Thank
you
you.
were home at like 9:40.
Yeah, because you came home just before 10,
10.
and then you told me you walked Sean home and got him
Right.
food.
And then I got these flowers, and I was super confused.
I did not eat the food even. I woke up and it was sitting on the kitchen table. So I had it for lunch today.
Oh, you
You're
ate it.
I didn't have to make anything.
That's like 9 hours of potential drinking. Like that's a lot. And socializing, and like that's a lot.
Oh, it was a lot.
It was fun.
Okay, in Bruges.
Sorry. Yeah, no, I was asking Sean because he's been quiet and sort of just like observing what's been going on.
What a terrible
What is
person.
that? What is the thought, Sean? What is your thoughts on In Bruges? Give us something. Give us
Explain your hat.
This movie slowly is becoming one of my favorite movies of all time. I
Yeah.
love it. I love watching it. Like it's so funny. My only quibble with it is the time for Brendan Gleeson to get back to the top of the tower and Ray Fiennes going down doesn't line up at all.
Yeah, but I think they were still kind of close to the top. Like I don't think they were as far as you think they were.
It's what, 3 stories tall maybe? It's not that big.
Yeah, it felt like very wide. I laughed. I was like, Ray Fiennes could have ran down those stairs and the whole scene slowed down for dramatic effect, which will work.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it works, but it just the timing doesn't totally line up for me at least.
Yeah, you get Brendan Gleeson's trauma exploded time,
Yeah. When they cut to his slightly alive corpse on the ground and they show a couple of angles of his like arm exploded apart and stuff.
Oh
man, it's
I was like
so gross.
I was like, oh my god, like I understand the concussive force and why it would have happened, but also I didn't need to see directly into his splody arm. Okay, I really,
You
really
don't want to see the bone?
It's the ground like a styrofoam container of poutine.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It was just a lot. It was a lot. Okay.
Yeah. And I love that it breaks his gun because you can break those things.
Yeah.
Especially if you fall on them from 100 and something, however many stories, meters, doesn't matter, feet.
Yeah.
Far up. Dropping a human on them from a great height is a great way to break a gun.
Yeah.
It actually seemed more like that was like more like 5 stories high than like 3 stories.
Yeah.
Which does make a difference.
Yep.
More than 5, but yeah.
I wish you would step away from that ledge, my friend. You could cut ties with all the lies that you've been living
killing
in.
kids. And
Gleeson never killed a kid. He's the only one who
He put a gun in the hand of an asshole kid who killed the actual kid.
The only person
He killed a brother.
who killed a kid.
1 degree of
was
separation from that tiny child's murder. It's his fault.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, but the only person who literally shot a kid was taken away in a hospital at the end of the thing in hospital, and he probably survived because he was like, "This is my hell, eternity in Bruges." Like what if he was like just laid up, he can't get home, and he's just like, I'm just in Bruges forever.
I did like the line where he was just like, I think I'm gonna go back and talk to the lady of the mother of that kid, and whatever she wants done to me can be done.
I think
I can be put to death or put in jail, but at least I wouldn't fucking be in Bruges. And
Exactly. No, I think he lived. Just to your question, I think he lived because he would have wanted not to.
That's his worst case scenario. So
exactly.
I guess
worst case scenario.
They did leave it up to because the screen just went dark. So I guess he could have been brought back, even though he was shot several times in the chest.
Yeah.
Yes.
But also, like, what's so amazing about this whole movie is that, like, I talked about before where, like, there's that scene where he's just like, am I going to punch this guy in the restaurant? Maybe I'm not. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. And if he had not punched that guy, he would have gotten away.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he might have killed himself in a separate town or whatever. But, like, they put him on a train, and the only reason he came back to Bruges was because he made the decision to punch that guy in the restaurant that one time.
Yeah.
All he had to do was just not like be like, "Yep, he's an asshole. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna deal with that. I'm dealing with a bunch of stuff on my own shit right now. So maybe I'm not gonna cause more shit." But he couldn't not do that.
Isn't that usually when people do cause shit? Like,
exactly.
I'm in a shitty place, so let's fight.
Exactly.
That's what they do. Yeah.
Because they can't not.
Yeah.
And that's what's so good about this movie.
If I was that Canadian man, and me and Alex were saying, we would have been like, what are you saying, you little coke fiends? Like, what? Do you know what they were talking about very loudly? And I was like, the two of us was like, I would have been like this, like drinking. I'd be like, yeah, you could smoke in my face. What are you?
I'm
not defending them.
Yes.
Tell me more about your crazy fucking, he just happens to find a drug dealer that robs people?
Why would you interrupt that amazing stream of hilarious like gossip where they
also, why would you pick a fight with them? But yes.
Well, but probably because you're like I don't know, some like mid-level Canadian like higher up who thinks that they're entitled to some kind of deference, right? Where it's like I'm here with my girlfriend because I just purchased Rogers Entertainment, and this lady is going to do the things that my wife wouldn't do to me, and so like as long as I pay for this meal, but like and then it's like, and then it's being disrupted by this Irish asshole talking about, I don't know, nonsense. And
But
so, like,
isn't it
everything is
so based on what you're
imagine
saying, they both have the exact same goals for the evening, and they're both trying to show their own power to get to that goal.
exactly.
They
I would
both-
say that, like, the Canadian is like, if everything goes exactly right tonight, I get exactly what I want. And the second anything goes incorrectly,
Right.
I don't get what I want. And the same thing with, like, it's not even like, it's not like Colin Farrell thinks that he's not going to get laid because he punches his asshole out while she's in the bathroom. He literally can't stop himself.
Yeah.
They both,
These two men
Because-
have a lot of trouble with emotion
they both
regulation.
cock block themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
If they're having a conflict, they both cock block themselves, and then they were
So-
both twice as angry because they were the
But
idiot.
also, do you think the Canadian was really pissed when he called him an American? Because I know we get a bit crazy.
No,
I don't think he understood what he was talking
genuinely
about.
Did not
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
I think he genuinely didn't understand.
Yeah.
I like, because Colin Farrell, like, seems to have, like, maybe two pieces of information about history. One is the Vietnam War happened.
Yes.
He's
And
pretty,
two-
but he ain't bright.
Those are-
Okay.
Right.
Informatively weird situation. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I think that's totally true, because at the end they were like, oh, that Vietnam thing probably didn't make sense for him. It's like, because Canadian. But no, I think it's just and yeah, it's just fucked up. It's like two dudes trying to figure out the world, because they're both toxic, and they're approaching it from different perspectives.
Yeah.
But also, with Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, it's all masculinity all the way down, right?
Yeah,
It's all
even the
everybody
internalized
trying to
misogyny
figure out
is- Yeah.
Mhm.
what if we want to imagine that, like, Fight Club was actually a seminal movie, which it was for me, but I don't think it was for maybe a larger culture. But, like, questioning about, like, what does being a man mean, and so, like, does being a man mean punching out that Canadian because he was, like, talking shit finally once the lady
does it-
is gone?
Does
You
it
wouldn't
mean
have
shooting
talked
yourself
shit.
because you shot a child?
Right.
Yes.
Right?
That's part of it. Yeah.
But I also wanted to just talk about. Sorry, Mike. you
No,
finish up.
go.
I wanted to talk about, on the other end of things, it's Marie in the hotel, correct?
Yeah.
Just nailing it every time.
Yes.
Because part of the reason that we catch Ray before he kills himself, right, is because Marie says your friend was very upset.
Yeah.
He had
Why
it
do
out
you
of
give me
here.
all this money? Like, you gotta go deal with this. Yeah.
And then also at the end when she's trying to negotiate the standoff, which is, again, just like absolute catnip for me as far as comedy goes, is we can't go home. This is a shootout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's just like,
So-
this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard you two. And they're like, but we're gonna
But
kill each other with
it
guns."
is really dumb if
It's so
you
good.
like for 3 seconds. Like it
Yes.
is dumb.
Yes.
Yeah, the whole
She's
thing
like,
is
well, I'm not leaving.
like,
Then I just stay here and what? And they're like, no, we were really committed to this thing we're gonna do.
oh, she's so great because she's just like, well, now I know that me being pregnant is like bulletproof, whatever for you guys. So just like figure
Yeah.
yourselves out in rational fashion or fuck right off.
Oh.
Like,
Yes, exactly.
she's so great. She's like, I'm not leaving. I'm not letting this happen. Like, you can do better. I mean,
Yeah.
they try harder.
I am creating a future. You
They-
men are destroying
like,
things based on what
Focused
you've
on-
done in the past.
Destroying
But,
yourselves
like-
and each other. Yeah.
I'm building a
Fire.
hotel. I'm building a family.
Yeah.
Get the
I'm replacing
fuck out
this
of
kid.
get the fuck out of my hotel.
except
and-
also not though, not just get out of my hotel, but just like, I don't want this on my hands. Now that I'm in the
Yes.
middle of it, this needs to end better. So like,
Yeah. Because she's really on the boat of just don't kill each other.
yeah,
Yeah.
Especially not in my hotel. But the whole point is don't kill each other. That's stupid. And then you're like, I also don't want you to kill each other here because then you ruin my place of business for the
Yeah.
future of this child
like,
that I am creating.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
put this on my shoulders. Like, you guys need a better solution. What the hell?
Yeah.
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 A good mom, because
I
like
like her so much.
put them in timeout and like
I think maybe this movie is full of all terrible people except not her. I'm open to maybe other
She
people
is the
in this movie
nicest
who are not
person in this
terrible,
whole
but
movie.
it's great.
Yeah.
Not
The,
a problem,
the,
except that they're making it her problem. She could have just been like, never mind, get lost, or but no, she was just like, no, you guys can't just murder each other in the street. Like, get your shit together.
yeah. And I mean, if we're talking about like, you know, the engagement with gender and like the future, it's like Fight Club is excellent because only women is Martha or
Marla.
what's her Marla,
Marla.
who has no future and blah 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 and everything's good. So they're all on the same page. But like, you know, and not to say that like women are only for creating future people, but like the woman in Bruges is thinking about the future. She wants to create a place where like the future exists, and Colin Farrell doesn't think about anything beyond his own existence. Gleeson, even in his most like heightened view of like his own like you know ethicality, is like he doesn't imagine a world beyond himself, and Ray Fiennes clearly does not. And so it's just like the idea that like the world will exist beyond one person
Hey,
is gone.
you leave
Yeah.
his fucking kids out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
So can we talk about one other scene, which is the attempted suicide scene in the park, which I think is one of the saddest slash funniest slash I don't know, most thought worthy scene in the movie where where Gleeson is in a corner preparing to shoot his friend in the head and finally talks himself into it and is just walking over. And then as soon as he sees his friend about to kill himself, he's just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you want to die? And I just think it's like, because when you think of like the two sides of it and how they're, his friendship or care for this person takes over what he's used to having to do. And then that's the moment where he's just like, apparently I will die for you because I can't kill you. I think is very thought-provoking.
It is
like on many levels.
It's a very like interesting, like emotional scene, but also it's definitely the defining like everyone is idiots moment.
It really is. It's
where the comedy comes, but also they're both like, whatever. Like Colin Farrell wants to kill himself because he killed that kid, and Brendan Gleeson like, he has to do this. He doesn't want to, but he's like, okay, I'm gonna do it. But it's like, no, but like my friend, like he basically is just a kid. Like I can't shoot a kid just because he shot a kid. And then it's like, really? You guys are gonna have a fucking shootout in a playground where children will be traumatized 100% guaranteed? Like, get your shit together, guys.
Let's
like
go into the playground and discuss this like civilized men.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone's idiots.
Yes.
It is. I kind of wish there was a bit of background on how they know each other.
Yeah.
Like, because they are different generations. There's at least 20 to 30 years between them. And so I'd be curious to know how they know each other.
I think it's more interesting that they, I don't know, like when I was working at Stein's, like you would get to know like weird people in different generations, but like not in a meaningful way where like, if anything happened between the two of you, there would be a like thematic connection. It's just like, yeah, shit happens sometimes.
and it's just like, yeah, he seems like he could pull a trigger.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
you know.
I don't know.
I
I
do
feel
think-
like they come across as just like that's that guy that I know from work. And then they became best friends at work, even though his work is killing each other, whatever. And he may have been the quote unquote janitor. I'm picking random jobs in an office, whatever. But like they know each other because of work, and they
Janitors don't get
became
to
work
be
best
in the
friends.
same
I know.
thing, so that they, even if they get promoted, they can't, you know, work in the company anymore. Anyway, sorry, that's I'm gonna remove my Trotskyist.
Yeah.
Cut this out.
No,
Cut
I
this
just
out.
wanted to yell. I know him. He's my friend from work.
Work.
Cut this-
Exactly. You know,
Nope, you're-
I feel
but-
like
yeah.
I feel like if you knew too much about their background, it would be a very different movie.
I think that also makes it easier for Brendan Gleeson to project all of his guilt and martyrdom and just his feeling of being finished onto this person that he doesn't know that well, and he knows that this person is acting out because of what happened. But if they've known each other for 10 years and you've watched this person growing up being a piece of dirt, like Colin Farrell's character is, it wouldn't be like, oh, I bet he's only doing all this because he's acting out and he's upset because of the death of the child. It's like, oh, that piece of dirt's just a piece of dirt. He's just a trash bag like me. And it might be harder for him because he.
Sorry.
He does in that at that park scene is when he decides like, I'm ready to die so that this kid can have some freedom, because he puts him on the train and says, I don't know where he's going and you do to me what you will. So way before he actually jumps off the tower, he has committed himself to death so that this young person can get another chance at life.
Yeah. I mean, he did leave his last will and testament there. And
wait, is that his?
Yeah. It was.
Oh, I thought it was Colin Farrell's.
No.
Dumb. Colin Farrell's character wouldn't write one.
He left us.
No.
Brendan Gleeson left the last will and testament, but also we learn that he's loyal to Harry because his wife was murdered, presumably before they had children. So he's like, it makes sense that he, Harry's a family man. They have a certain kinship, whatever. It's like, he doesn't have his own children, but maybe he's like, I mean, there's a big father and son theme, right? Like he's just like kind of projected, like, I took this guy under my wing. I was supposed to mentor him, and like, wow, that didn't go very well. So like now I protect him because that's not his fault. He was new. So, like, I think that, probably like he didn't get a chance to have the family that he wanted. And so he's sort of like looking for that low key in other places and not acknowledging it because everybody needs therapy. Everybody needs so much therapy.
No, they just need to be shot in one in a specific square in
Bruges.
In Bruges.
Literally get all the way to Bruges and get shot rather than
exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, but no, like that. I feel like that's probably.
I'm 900% behind you, Alex. I think you're reading it exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Having like a father-son relationship, like they don't, but like they also don't not.
No. He wishes.
Like, well, when it comes down to
he wishes he had a father-son relationship with him, and he doesn't. And then when the dude is just like, I don't fucking understand what Bruges is, probably like, going down to the pub is my version of heaven,
right.
And being in Bruges is my version of hell. It's just like, I don't know you anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
But and like Harry is a terrible person, and he's loyal to him for one reason. And like Harry, I guess from his family's perspective, is probably a good person. But that's. But
I did love just post Sopranos, where he beats the shit of the phone to death, which I don't know if Leah has fully given her full review of that scene, which is wonderful and fantastic. But what I do love about it afterwards is it is clear that his wife understands, where he's like, I'm going to go to Bruges It's like, oh, are you gonna bring the dudes with you? Because it's like she knows that
Dangerous.
Like, he's a gangster. He should
yeah,
do
exactly.
something.
But just like she has exactly like probably 3 lines in the whole entire movie, but it's clear that she understands. It's not it's not that door closing at the end of Godfather 1, right? Where it's just like, oh, the woman never understands what us men do. It's like, no. Hey, I've hustled our kids over here, but like, tell me, like, you're gonna go down to the thing, and you're gonna bring the boys, and you're gonna fucking kill a dude, right? Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, anyway.
Yeah. But you're gonna bring backup, right?
People he does think
And then he
just, like,
shoots
handle
himself without even thinking about it.
Man of principle.
Principles.
Well, the point is to have a principle before evidence or the thing.
Jumping off the no.
Well, Harry still, like, as he's kind of dying and watches this dude try to shoot, like, put his gun in him.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, that's not a child. It's like, even for a dumb shit who's horrible, it's like he's still like, dude, don't do it. Because this is
Oh, that's true. Yeah, no, it's true.
Even
exactly.
in the moment of like, this guy is horrible, he has this moment of like, no, you don't.
It was a really racist asshole who probably deserved to die. But no, I totally. But that. So to me,
avoided if anybody spoke to anybody else in any rational fashion.
Oh no, not me. I just realized because sometimes I have insights about movies, and sometimes like I'm watching a movie, and that's it. I just realized that the little person did end up getting shot in the head.
Oh yeah.
And he had an explodey bullet, so his whole face was gone.
That much.
Do you use the dum-dums?
Dum-dum. How so many little people end up killing themselves and by shooting themselves in the head. And although he doesn't do it to himself, that is, I don't know if you guys noticed it. It's a very smart movie. A lot smarter than me, apparently.
They have the same, almost the exact same scene, like not for like for but they have the same thing where they're like, okay, we have a bullet that explodes heads in The Departed, where they're like, okay, because again, like similar to pepper spray, you're allowed to use this against civilians, but you're not allowed to use it in warfare, which is the hollow point bullets that explode the heads.
I also really love the way that Harry takes them when.
I know I shouldn't, but.
Yeah. Ooh, maybe just a little bite. They don't count if they're calories.
He just takes the whole box.
Yes. Delicious.
It's probably one of my favorite Ray Fiennes performances.
Okay. Leah,
it's tough,
talk about like we talked about it before about an inanimate object, but like I feel like you could express it in a single thing far better than we kind of like vaguely hit it on the podcast.
I don't know if I can because you've already heard me fully snort about how funny it is, and it just
do it again.
No,
Tracy's gonna cut all that other shit out.
Nope. I have said my piece about that. I do have one other point that's unrelated, if that's okay, which is much like a teenager. Colin Farrell, I know he packed stuff because he has a bag, and we see that there are clothes in that bag, and he wears the same fucking shirt the whole movie.
I have the
what
same
does it
note.
smell like?
Wait, doesn't he put on a colored shirt for his date?
It's the same shirt that he wears, but he
shirt.
just puts on a jacket over it.
Yeah.
Well, they had to get out of London really fast, so they probably didn't have time to pack.
What does it smell? No, he's got a bag. There's clothes in the bag.
I'm not paying attention. I don't know.
2008.
Yeah, I didn't catch that either.
Like that time, Alex, that we went
Greasy
to see Fall Out Boy, and they were handing out cans of Axe afterwards. Which one?
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't hand out axe knockoffs at the end of a concert. It ends.
Ew. Oh my
But
god, no.
this movie is what, 2008, right?
Yeah, but
He-
it wasn't the same shirt, or does he have multiple of the same shirts? I don't know. I didn't clock it.
Well, according to my Googling, Colin Farrell wears the same costume except for a jacket, like yeah, no, a jacket. Except for a jacket for the whole movie.
Ew.
Yep.
Ew.
What? Right. Multiple nights with women of negotiable affection.
No, but
That cocaine
they're fucking
is, oh, that's a
like
lot of sweating,
greasy
and then
drug
the-
dealers.
and the-
I love it.
Crazy.
It's great. It's but by the end of it,
Oh wow. Yeah. So okay. Well, we knew that she was a criminal and a crazy person, but like
Yes.
wow.
I love the contrast because I had never seen Kiss Kiss Bang Bang before. So like when he tries to, white knight the like, oh, you're creeping up that girl's leg, and it turns out he was actually the boyfriend,
Literal.
or at least the guy that brought her.
I don't know.
I don't know. Whatever.
yeah.
It doesn't matter. Point was and then he gets his ass kicked versus the dude who shows up and is like, I'm here to rob you, and then he takes the gun away from him and then blinds him with his own blank.
Amazing.
It
And then
was just
Harry's
like-
like, well, you did
like,
get blinded
but-
with your own
but-
gun.
but-
Not really
like-
close to the guy, but
but
It
like,
was
I
his
think-
fault, and he was whining about it. It was his
But
fault.
no, but I think that exactly encapsulates like Colin Farrell's exact existence in this entire movie, which is he is not absolved for any of the things he's done because he is a terrible person, but like he is the person who like is capable of doing like those small things where it's
he
just
does
like
also get to
hey.
do terrible things to other people, some of whom are also terrible.
Right, but like if your job, like as a small time crook, was like just not getting fucked over, Colin Farrell demonstrates that multiple times, and then it's like, hey, what if you were brought into like a bigger deal where you might get fucked over, but like by like a conspiracy instead of just like a dude who's there goofing on you. And then he's just like, I don't know what to do with this. Ah!
I actually really enjoyed the gay boy jokes.
Yeah.
They were hilarious.
It was-
And the fact that Ray Fiennes continues the jokes,
Yes.
they're all picking up on the same shit. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this little skinhead is really getting her. Oh,
Right.
I-
Yeah, the fact that they
it's-
both like, wait, but you're so just like a poofter, right?
Yeah.
That word in North America in 50.
No.
It's
That was
a funny one.
But yeah, just
I don't like flirting.
like, you think you're a little fascist. Oh, it's so cute. Like, yeah, I love that.
Yeah, the utter dismissal of the like
And
worst,
and the,
the most
the-
like, the
It's like, I will never see out of this eye again, and nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, no one
Yeah.
cares.
yeah.
And he just has got like little
At the-
grumpy face going on and whatever. and
At
you're just
the
like,
at the
what?
end of the day, it's like, okay, your biggest value is being a narc.
yeah.
Right? It's like at the end of the day, it's like, hey, he's literally downstairs. You could kill him right now. It's like, oh, you skinhead piece of shit. I will take that piece of information, but that doesn't make you better.
Oh well, there's just such a great Ray as a moody teenager when it's revealed that like he shows up and Ray's like, what's happening? And she's like, sometimes we like to rob tourists. And he's like, I knew you would never sleep with me. It's just it's very funny.
As if he's not Colin Farrell.
Like that's the first thing that he thinks of also, is not just like, no, I don't want to be robbed, or that's terrible of you, but just like, oh, I thought you thought I
You're-
was sick.
Yeah.
Too sexy.
And then
But also, I loved how the dude was blinded by his own blank gun.
And then she was like, "No, that's not true. I gotta take this guy to the hospital, but like, call me tomorrow, please."
And she means it, which is surprising and
And she
delightful.
doesn't mean it.
It's almost like
There, if you're
the-
dating a people
the
skinhead,
Catholic
Moving up.
way of interpreting guilt is like fucked up and not
Shush,
you know.
this is true love. Shush.
whatever. I honestly like. They're both insane lunatics.
Exactly.
They are.
really deserve
They really
each
are.
other.
It's so good because at first you think that it's just the girlfriend of you know, the little person, and then she's like, no, I'm his ketamine hookup. And
yeah.
and then he's like, oh, okay, well, maybe I can have sex with you. And then she's like, no, but also ketamine is very important to the whole scene.
Story. Yeah.
But
and he
also,
was like, I didn't wave hello to you because I was on so much kidding.
And then they make
Yeah.
a bunch
Might
of
have waved
horse
hello to a
jokes.
horse. Yes.
Yeah, but also like
It's so funny.
everything was hilarious. Yeah,
you-
and then like Colin, she's jaded. He's like, oh, I knew you would never hook up with me, and it's like, arguably she shouldn't have for a variety of reasons, but also like he's not even my type, and if that guy showed up at my door, I'd be like, all right,
Yeah.
very
he's
YOLO.
Colin
You
Farrell.
definitely think about it for sure.
Yeah, he's a hunk.
Colin Farrell, yeah.
Even as the penguin, he's kind of sexy. Wow.
Oh.
Colin Farrell
What's
now.
wrong with you?
I have not seen that at all, and I don't.
It's really good. I was
Okay, so
surprised how
you
good it
might
was.
I
be
think it's great. I
I'm
don't
leaving-
think I would
I'm
have
gonna
sex
leave
with
open
somebody
the
who
Oh.
was playing the penguin.
I'm very sexy penguin. I don't know. Could be true.
Wait, who is Sean having? Wait, is Sean having sex with Colin Farrell? Everything
As in the
As the
penguin
penguin.
suit.
Excited about
Yeah.
Colin Farrell as the penguin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Penguin. Oh, when he's at his ugliest. Yes. Well,
I mean, let's
So
be
to go back, Tom Cruise and Colin Farrell in Minority Report,
Oh my
which
god,
was
yes,
an
they are both in there.
amazing movie.
Yeah.
But like the two of them are like both action stars being like,
God, there's the other one connection. I
And
didn't
they're
even
both
put that
tiny
together.
children.
Yeah.
Well, Tanker's
Yeah.
cousin.
no,
Look
but
at you.
it was so wonderful to
Wait, no,
like,
we're not talking about Tom Cruise. That's not the one
No,
connection.
but I
What am I talking
no.
about?
It's
No,
only
sorry.
because we had a mini podcast
Minority
in the middle that
Report.
was
I didn't
about-
watch it because I fucking hate Tom Cruise.
It's
No,
such a
no,
good
no.
movie, though. You have to watch.
Minority Report is like, here's the thing. I don't know. Like, if you genuinely hate Tom Cruise, don't watch it. But for me, Tom Cruise has been in so many movies across so many different things that like I would identify what I hate about Tom Cruise and then not watch the movies where he's doing those things.
Yes.
If you just hate him, like if his face appears and you hate it, then obviously you can't. But if you're like, oh, I can't deal with him when he's like, looking at a lady or just like literally like whatever, doing all sorts of things. Like Tom Cruise is a weird dude. You don't have to justify not wanting to see him doing anything. But like he's a good movie actor if you're just like, oh, he's just a dude who's doing the Muppets thing with the hands, on what was it? It's a
I don't even know what you're talking about right now.
Yeah, I don't either.
I honestly don't know what you're talking about right now.
Give me a second. It's in 2008. The movie with where he does blackface. Robert Downey Jr.
Tropic
Tropic
Thunder?
Thunder.
Yes.
Tropic Thunder,
Yes.
where
Yes.
like
Yes.
Tom
Yes.
Cruise
We talked about this.
does the like
The
he
Swedish
doesn't have
chef
his own
type thing.
hands,
With the
but
Right.
it's so funny.
It is.
But only if you like Tom Cruise that was all that I was trying to say.
Yeah, I
Is
hate
that,
to admit, I love his movies usually. But yeah, I do not like the person.
Yeah, it's for me.
think
It's
he's
his
dangerous.
movies in his later
Oh,
career, which are like action sci-fi stuff. I'm sorry, I watch all of them. They're
Yep.
actually all very good
Edge of
movies.
Tomorrow's great. Oblivion's pretty good.
Yeah, and like I said,
I love
like
War
the
of the
Mission
Worlds.
Impossible movies. Yeah, War of the Worlds is pretty decent. There's just so many of them, but I'm
Jess is
like,
giving 2 big thumbs down.
you know, and that's fine. That is,
Yeah.
I will not defend.
I've only seen Edge
defending.
of Tomorrow, and I'll defend that, but the rest of them, I don't know.
There's just something so unlikable, and it's just the Scientology. It's actually his personal life that is just it's made.
No, it's okay.
That's fine.
It's like I had to make my peace with that when I started to listen to like certain backtracks, right? Like
Yeah.
where
That
it's
was a
just like
real
some of
loss for
them.
me.
It's
Some of them they're
Not
not good.
that he
but-
converted, that he's always been finding that.
Yeah,
out.
he's like second or third generation, right?
Yeah,
Oh wow.
Yep.
Still,
They're not.
Well,
was
because
too late.
I'm,
I
everybody's
love
been
that.
posting
Fine.
their Spotify Wrapped or whatever, but everybody was
There's
goofing
such
about
horseshit,
like
there's so much AI, and there's such horseshit. Anyway, sorry, nothing.
no, but there was a funny goof about like, oh, it's my LimeWire, wrap up, and
And
so
it's all
it's like
improperly labeled tracks.
in the end.exe Linkin Park.exe.
Yeah.
But for me, it was just like, hey, some shit's not so good. So, anyway, sorry.
It's okay. I feel
ran out
like
of
we've
steam
like
there.
we've fallen into some sort of rabbit hole right now.
Yeah, we cannot stop talking about Tom Cruise. How is this happening?
This is like the
Who's
third
in neither
time he's
movie?
come up. Hold on.
Farrell,
seriously charismatic.
also has a sex tape, yes?
Yes, with
Also,
Yeah, probably.
What?
yeah, he is a sex tape. Anyway, he had a wild time, and now he has an adult, intellectually and physically disabled son who he is raising a ton of money for. Colin Farrell has become the gem that he was deservedly, though he went through a time of alcoholism and problems.
Yeah, his penis is on the internet, but his kid wasn't until he got to adulthood. So, like, holy shit,
He
way to
protected the kid, but
actually
not his penis.
prioritize your life.
Colin Farrell and Robert Downey Jr. Fantastic face turns. Very inspiring stories.
Also,
Yes.
I think I said to Alex after watching the two movies, I was like, these are like the same character, yes, but one is Irish, and they're both fucking stupid.
Somebody
But
else answer that question. 'Cause
Yeah.
I can't.
The answer is
Or I'll just keep yelling.
But I agree with you. They are we talked about this like earlier in the episode. They are kind of the same thing. Just one's an Americanized version, one's a
one's
over
play,
there version.
one's Europe.
No, like the structure and the whatever is the same. The vibe is very different. But they are like they're not like that far off being basically versions of the same movie.
Yeah.
Which I would not have called from the very brief descriptions that I read before I watched them, because this was my first time watching both of them.
I didn't actually.
Also, the words per minute, very different.
Yes.
Mhm.
Very different.
I did not look at either description and actually said to Alex, "Who's in this movie?" I looked up nothing. I remember.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I just went into it blind. And I will say, I would watch In Bruges again. I would not watch Kiss Kiss Bang Bang again.
That is surprising to me, actually.
I don't know why.
I'm
Robert Downer Jr. just stressed me the fuck out.
Right.
I enjoyed it, but I don't know if I would put it on again. But In Bruges, it was a slow start, but then I was like, these motherfuckers are stupid. I like this.
I'm all
So-
about procedural shit, like flashy and fast and short and dumb. It's like, let's look where I live. So like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Yeah. When I saw that in Bruges, I'm like, I'm excited that Mike doesn't get to recommend it to me anymore. And
But
I do think it's a good movie. I enjoy it thoroughly, but like, I don't need to enjoy it again, probably.
I totally agree. No, but the reason I watched In Bruges was because I watched Seven Psychopaths at
Great movie.
Fifth Midnight Madness, accidentally. Like we just bought the
Well,
the
on
like
purpose,
the
but
week
without knowing
pass.
anything about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So we just showed up, and it was Seven Psychopaths, and it was the same writer, like Colin Farrell, and like among other things, like engaging with Catholic guilt, but also dealing with
Murder.
the well, yes, but the specifics about like at the end where it's like, shut the fuck up, we're doing the shootout, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
We can go
is like a
home.
line in the movie, and then in Seven Psychopaths, it's like, oh, I'm trying to write a movie without any shootouts, and then fucking other character who's not Colin Farrell is like, you're trying to write a movie without shootouts. No shootouts? What the fuck? Like, so it was just like very it's like, oh yeah, of course we're doing the shootout now. It's like
Yeah.
that's how movies work. And then it's like, oh, I want to write a movie without shootouts, which also scratched my
Adaptation.
oh yeah, like what's Charlie
It all
Kaufman.
ties together
Yeah.
in the Mike extended
Yeah,
universe.
my Charlie Kaufman like
Yeah.
thing. I watched Being John Malkovich at a neighbor's house, and I was like, oh my god, is that movies are allowed to be like cool and interesting? I didn't understand. And then since
hold on.
then,
Do you know what's
Since-
really funny about that comment? Literally yesterday, I was listening to a podcast where they were talking about Being John Malkovich,
yeah,
and the guy said almost exactly what you just said.
yeah,
It was like, oh my God, this is what a movie can do, be cool and interesting. And I was like,
yeah,
yeah.
like
Yeah,
like,
that's John Malkovich because his birthday was on Monday.
yeah.
Coincidence?
No, mine
Your
too.
birthday is also on Monday. Yeah.
Yep. Anyway, sorry.
Are you John Malkovich?
She is.
You have to tell us if you are. It's like
Malkovich?
being a cop.
She's wearing a
Malkovich.
All right, before
John Malkovich
we
with no hair.
fall back into like some other crazy
Doctors.
tangent,
Okay.
let's wrap this up.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna ask you for a last comment on both of these movies, like a line each, and if you recommend or don't recommend to the listeners. All right, I'm gonna start with Sean. Sean, what do you think?
Highly recommend both movies. I love In Bruges a lot more. I think The Nice Guys is better than Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, so I'd recommend that. But Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is a lot of fun too. So
All right, nice job. Let's go with Alex.
I like both movies a lot. I'm glad that I watched them. Yeah, I liked In Bruges. I liked In Bruges. Kiss Bang Bang is like sort of rollicking nonsense that I really enjoy. So, like, of the two of them, that's the one. That's the one for me.
All right, Leah.
I think if you are given to like movies about white men having trouble with emotional regulation and impulse control, then watch both of these.
Okay, Jess.
100%.
So much. Okay.
Yes.
That's it.
Emotional dysregulation. Yes. They all need a therapist
Yeah.
or social worker.
But if you like that kind of thing, you're going to like these kinds of things.
Yeah.
They're both worth watching as examples of the topic.
Okay,
If you're not
Mike.
into that, you're going to hate it.
All right, Mike. This is your last comment.
All right, so I mean, my wife just commented about it and about white men needing emotional regulation. So I think you should take that before anything that you hear from me. But at the end of the day, for me, it's like if you want to engage with a movie that is like digging into that kind of post 2000s post like 9/11, trying to figure out what like what to define masculinity as, then I think you could do a lot worse than watching these two movies. And at the end of the day, just like know that it's not going to work. If you kill people, or if you try to steal the what is it, the Atomic Man, or whatever it was from
oh yeah, what was the pseudo
yeah
horrible RoboCop?
yeah. So at the end of the day,
Yeah.
Omnicore.
Omnicore, yeah. If you're trying to steal that for just its own sake, steal it. If you're trying to steal it because it will define you as a man and a person, then you're wrong, and
There's
you're
something
gonna
else that needs to
probably
happen
end
here.
up in Bruges forever. That's my end of.
All right.
I see how you
So
got there. You're not wrong.
yeah, Mike got real deep into that. All I have to say is like these movies are good. Watch them. Have a done. Over.
Don't
Whoa,
copy
so insightful.
characters. We're in like
God bless us, everyone.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We are
tiny team
100%
gets shot in the face in this one, so it's
To
fine.
be enjoyed, not to be emulated.
Exactly.
Don't
Yes.
let
God, y'all. Therapy.
Awful people.
Like I know
Breeze.
this wasn't a holly jolly episode, but it's a good episode to end the year because that's it for this episode and this year of Off My Shelf. Of course, I'll be returning next year with new episodes starting January 27th, 2025. Oh my God. Where we'll be talking more about, guess what? Star Trek. What?
Woo!
Anyways, until then, you can follow along on Twitter and Instagram at Oh My Shelf, or you can send emails to ohmyshelf@gmail.com. Have a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, and a joyous Kwanzaa. Enjoy whatever you celebrate. See you in the new year.